What's up, CBR fam? We back for another installment. We got Father Blue, aka Eddie, sitting in the back. We're gonna have an in-depth conversation about lots of
Good
things.
up, bro. Tech. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
My
how it's
fault,
gonna
bro. My
go
fault.
tonight. No, you
My
good. You
fault.
good.
I
That's
get
how it's gonna
excited
go
seeing the
tonight.
people up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. So it's different for us now because we only doing 2 shows a month. But don't let that make y'all think that we don't miss kicking with y'all.
And brother,
We
we
love
missing y'all, bro. Adrian. You know what I'm saying?
Salad, man. Yeah, shout out to Salad for memeing me, man. I
Yeah.
listen, Salad. Listen. I'm gonna be honest with you, Salad, bro. You kind of fucking up because you're not producing enough Travi Fiari memes. You need to crank your production up, bro. Listen, ever since I had that Espinosa knuckle punch cigar, I don't really give a fuck about you calling me Guy Fieri. So you got to put a
Hey, and
frosted
it's
tip wig
crazy.
on me every
If you go,
week. You got to do it.
bro, if y'all go find that episode when he had the British wig on, all you gotta do is screenshot that and use that, bro. He got it's like a London. It's like he's like the British Guy Fieri up on that one. You know what I'm saying? He had the waves like that. You know,
Bro, for some reason,
talking
I
about
couldn't
pounds
find
and shit.
pounds and what else you call it? British pounds, sterling. For some
Yeah,
reason, bro, I couldn't find that wig for like a month, but it's downstairs in the liquor cabinet. And I saw it. I was like, bro, it's
right
coming
next
back in
probably that's probably right
2025.
next to where it should be, bro.
No, it's coming back, bro. We gonna put some other people on trial. We not putting you on trial.
Yeah, leave on chat. But you know what's crazy? I beat the charges, baby. You know what I'm saying?
You
You
beat
know what
the
I'm saying?
charges.
I was found not guilty in the public court of law. You know
You
what I'm saying?
gonna
They
you
tried
gonna
to.
sing that?
Hey, you see, they tried to box your boy in, but I came out fighting. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna
You know
sing
what
the
I'm saying?
Jay Z R Kelly song "Not Guilty"?
No, no, not R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? No, no,
Say, no, not R Kelly.
no, you know. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man.
I
Hey
did still
man,
listen to R. Kelly though. That's not a dig at R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody said. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be able to
hey,
separate the artist from the musician, brother. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's a lot of musicians. You look at their past, you be like, they
hey
did some fucked
dog.
up shit, bro.
Hey dog, you remember what Diddy said? Not guilty because I'm filthy. Come on. You remember what Diddy
Yeah, I
said
remember
that
that.
shit?
Yeah. Hey, but you know what though? You go back and go back to the Diddy verses. Diddy had said some wild ass shit, bro. Like when he was like we was more than we was more than my girl. We was like brothers to his girlfriend. I was like, what?
Yo, you remember after that one video where Diddy was dancing at that silver room? He was like public enemy number one. He was just dancing with the
Yeah,
lights. Public
yeah,
enemy number one.
yeah. You do that Diddy dance wrong, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Yo, I can't
You
Diddy
know,
bop,
public.
bro. My ankles, they not as flexible. Yo, when niggas used to do the heel toe, it took me a minute to get to be able to do the heel toe because my ankles just was not that flexible
I
when I
want to
was
see you
younger.
do that, bro. You go out of
You
ankle.
made it
I think
sound
you can
real
out.
weird. You made it sound real weird. I want to see you do that, bro.
No, I just want to see you hit that shit. You know? Oh shit, because you was in
Bro, I
Indiana for
come.
a minute. You was a temporary Indiana.
Bro, I've never been an indie animal in my life, bro. I've
He
never
said we
been
were
an
more than
indie
friends. We
animal.
was like brothers. Yeah, buddy. That shit was wild.
Yo, what up, cousin Joffy? What up, Tuck? What up, Alan? What
Cause
up,
I ain't bro.
cousin
Cause then he
Tracy?
was like he was like we would play fight
What up,
undercover.
T?
But I ain't never was play fight with my brother under the covers, brother.
I never did. I never even had a brother, but I never thought that was an acceptable thing to do.
I three brothers, bro. But we ain't never play fight under the covers with each other. You know what I'm saying? Just wrestle. No,
not
we
not
don't.
underneath the same cover, bro. Not
Nah, brother.
underneath the
You
same.
don't get down like that, brother. If you wrestling, brother, you know what I'm saying? You
Yo,
got the championship belts on the line, brother. It's not under the covers, bro.
yeah. I'm trying to put my cousin in a vertical suplex. I can't do that underneath the covers.
Hey, real. Speaking of, what was like your favorite wrestling move, bro? When you was like wrestling and shit back in the day with your cousin and shit, what was like your go-to move?
Bro, my favorite, my favorite wrestling move was the Undertaker choke slam.
No, I'm talking about the one that you used to do on your cousins.
Oh, so the one I used to do with my cousins, bro. Bro, I used to try to do that back Booker T kick on my cousins, yo.
Hmm. You try to get your big ass leg up, bro. You knock somebody
bro,
out, kick somebody
bro,
teeth out,
I
something.
thought I was gonna hit them in the face. I was always hitting chest and stomach, but I thought I was wrong. I thought I was
You
wrong.
trying to kick your cousin in the face? Wow.
Yo, man, Harlem Heat was the shit, bro. We only
So
had
we
somebody.
had
I see
three
Tuck talking
moves that I
shit.
like to do,
Tuck,
bro.
you was doing some gold dust shit. Tuck, your ass was doing some gold dust shit. He was doing some gold dust fondling. What up, Pat?
Pat, what up? I had three favorite moves, bro. I used to like to do the Shawn Michaels super kick right to the chin.
Oh
I
yeah.
used to try to kick the shit out of my cousins in the face, bro. Then the sharpshooter,
See, you was on
shut
the
up.
same shit I was on.
Hey, shout out to Bret Hart, the sharpshooter. I used to love doing the sharpshooter, putting
Yeah.
all your waist, trying to
Sharpshooter, yeah.
break his knees, and then what was it? I think it was a crossface crippler, bro. The one where the Chris Benoit move, where when
Oh
they
yeah,
on their
you
stomach,
try to pull their face in.
yeah, and you got their leg locked between your legs, bro. You try to break
Yeah.
their fucking neck. Yeah, bro. I used to try to do all that shit to my cousins, bro.
Bro, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I feel bad
And we
about
had
this.
belts. We had the belts and shit, bro. We used to cut up cardboard, make the championship belts and all that shit. You go over there,
Yo, we used to do the
walk
same
in with,
shit with like cereal
yeah,
boxes and shit.
yeah, bro. Shit lit, bro. That was the days, bro. Hey, don't sleep
Yeah.
on the 2000s, man. The 2000s. I'm sorry, bro. If you was born,
The
shit. If you was
attitude
born
area.
after,
From like 90, 97 to like 2002. If you witnessed that
yeah,
area wrestling, you really
yeah.
did do some
If you was
wrestling
born,
moves.
if you was born like '05, 2000, 2004 and after,
You
you missed
missed
some
it.
good shit, bro. I'm
You
sorry,
missed some
bro.
good shit, bro. You
Yeah.
remember when Sting switched?
Yeah, bro. See, somebody when he went to when he went from WCW to WWE.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. Shit was
yeah,
well. I used to love that Sting though. They be like, "Hey, who was that?" He up in the rafters.
bro.
Sting was raw.
Shit, man. Who was my favorite wrestler when I was a kid, bro? I want to say my favorite wrestler, and I know this is gonna upset some people, but it's a cross, is a tie between Booker T and Stone Cold Steve Austin, bro.
Mm.
Like, bro,
So you basically
everybody
pick two.
fuck with
You
Stone
basically
Cold.
pick two eras, or you pick one from WCW, one from WWF.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that's how it was, bro. You remember having to switch between the channels on Monday nights
yeah.
to
And when
watch
one going commercial,
WCW,
yeah, when
WWF?
one going
Yeah,
commercial, you feel like to the other one.
yeah.
And it
Bro,
usually
you
be
know who
like
I fuck with?
The
Kinda. I
WCW
used to fuck
came
with
on.
Mankind too, bro.
Nah, he was never one of my favorites though. But that was when WCW
He
used
was
to
one of
come
my
on. I
favorites, bro.
think right after WWE, right WWF, or like
It would come
it
on
would
like
start like an
it was
hour
like a
later,
yeah, it would start like an
after
hour later, and
like an
it
hour
was like
overlap. Yeah,
TNT and
yeah,
USA. When it was between
yeah,
TNT and USA, you had to switch between the
yeah.
two channels.
WCW intro was always better than shit with
Said
with the
came with the
flames.
red mask. Nitro
Came
versus
with the red
yeah,
mask.
Stylus said Nitro versus Monday Night Raw. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That was
yeah.
that was. I say my favorite one out of old school was Ultimate Warrior. That was my dog.
Oh yeah, old
Ultimate
school
Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior. I like Jake the
Yeah.
Snake. Uh,
Yeah.
I
Of course
always fucking
everybody
Ric
loves Jake.
Flair.
Yeah.
um, Who else, bro? Listen, I'm gonna tell you this, bro. A lot of
I
people they
really
gonna be
like
like,
Rick right appreciate I didn't really appreciate Ric Flair until my older days when I realized like I like people that talk shit.
yeah, him, Jerry the King Lawler,
Yeah.
what's his name? Ted DiBiase, bro.
Nah, I
Ted
used to like the
DiBiase.
man. That's the it's the $1 million man. The belt.
Yeah,
Shout out
bro.
to
You
him.
know I used to fuck with heavy on the crackhead, on the cokehead side of the game. I used to fuck with New Jack, bro. yo,
Something's wrong with dude, man.
yo, New
Something's
Jack
wrong with
was on
New
that
Jack.
cocaine wilding out, bro. I used to fuck with New Jack, bro.
Who's the best tag team? Who's the best tag team to you? Hey, in the comments, who's y'all best tag team? Damn, we yeah, we did. He said
Yo,
Randy
Father
Savage.
Blueberry, he said Randy Savage, bro. Randy Savage,
Yeah,
the Macho Man, Randy
that
Savage
was
was
the
the man.
he like the
Yeah.
like when you like the king of cokeheads back in the day. Like when you think of cocaine infested wrestlers, oh yeah.
Yo, listen, Randy Savage was like, just imagine having a white dad from the country that's on cocaine with heavy hypertension, always mad
Bushwhackers.
at you.
Hey, he said the bushwhackers,
He's
man.
a bushwhack as hell, yeah.
The-
The
Hey, they
Dudley
used to come
Bros,
out like this
bro.
and shit. They used to come out with the camo
Yeah.
on.
The fucking Dudley Bros, yo.
The
You
Hardy
remember the
Boys.
Dudley
Hey,
Bros?
yeah, Hardy Boys gonna
Your
yeah,
Hardy
Hardy Boys up
Boys.
there.
You remember
Definitely up there.
D-Generation X, bro? Yo, you remember
Um,
Conan, the Mexican rapper from WCW, bro? Yo,
Conan, yeah, I remember
him and
Conan.
Rey Mysterio.
You
Yo,
talking
shout
about
out to Eddie
he was
Guerrero
like
too,
a
bro.
Conan was like a California Crip or something, right?
Yeah, he was a vato. Conan
He
was a
came out with the
vato
one. He came out with the button with the one
with the
button.
under the shirt. Yo, shout out to Conan, bro. Shout out to Eddie
Hey,
Guerrero, bro. I miss Eddie Guerrero, man. That shit was sad. I thought him and
them
China
was
was really gonna get married
yeah.
and make
Rest
some
in peace,
babies. I
man.
thought, rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero.
Rest in peace to China too,
Yeah,
man. Hey, WWE,
yeah.
y'all
Rest
did
in
her
peace,
bogus,
China,
man.
bro.
I watched that China documentary. Y'all did her bogus, man. Y'all kept her in
Father
the
Boo,
Hall
that
of
was
Fame.
gold
Y'all,
dust.
they kept her from using the China name and all that. Y'all, she had to resort to being a
Yeah.
porn star. Y'all bogus. Y'all did her bogus. WWF. Y'all should be ashamed of
Hey, dog,
yourself.
you remember when you and your cousins would play wrestling and the
Gold
biggest
dust.
insult was, nah, nigga, you got to be gold dust.
Hey, gold dust. He's get that. He's be like, gold
Yo,
dust.
did he reach his hand out and touch you?
Yeah. Hey, matter of fact, I don't even know how the fuck I just did that. I shouldn't even did that. Hey, Chris Rice, bro.
He said
Don't
I
chop that
should
up, dog. Leave that shit alone, brother. Don't chop that shit up.
have. Yo, Chris Rice gonna have you. He gonna get you, bro.
Hey, don't do that, dog. Let this one go, bro. You already caught me sleeping and shit, bro. That video was funny. Motherfucking asshole. Hell is going on, but Chris Rice like, fuck it.
Yo,
Kurt
Yo,
Angle.
Adrian, Kurt Angle was cool, bro. But when he got hurt and came back, he was on those perks and he was perk Angle. Oh man, when he was
I wasn't
perk
a Kurt Angle
Angle, bro.
fan,
That
man. I
shit,
was never a Kurt Angle fan. I'm sorry. I couldn't do
yeah. All right, man. We gonna get off the wrestling tip. You got any announcements you want to make? How was your weekend, bro? Because I didn't talk to you like since
it.
Saturday.
It was a long ass weekend, man. A lot of BS, man. A lot of dumping product. That back hurt. I ain't gonna lie. Then the kids was off.
Damn,
The kids been off Monday and Tuesday from school because Martin Luther King Day. Shout out to Martin Luther King birthday.
shout out to MLK Day.
Then it's cold as hell here. We had the polar vortex. It was like in the single digits outside. So check engine light came on. That's just a bunch of life be life.
Bro, I had to
Ricky
go
Steamboat
get
in the
I had to go get
iron.
new
Damn, yo.
I had to go get a full set of tires yesterday, bro. I had
Yeah.
to go get a full set of tires for the truck yesterday, bro. And let me tell you this, bro. So like we just got hit with the Arctic blast, bro. And I ain't never in my life see. First of all, bro, if you work at the tire shop, bro, and it's inclement weather conditions, you play your cards right, bro. You can get you a girl. You can get you a girl, bro. I never seen so many girls come in the spot flirting for discounts, bro. Bro, girls don't want to pay for tires, bro. They spend
Okay.
money on
All right,
everything
but
else. They don't
so you
want
telling
to.
me when
They don't
if
want
me
to
and
spend
Brittany
money
don't
on
work
tires.
out,
So
me and
if
Brittany
you
don't
a
work out,
single
then I
dude,
need to go
if
get a
you a
tire
single
man.
dude out here, you need to go work a discount tire or tire barn or Firestone, wherever, bro, and just sell tires, especially when the weather get bad.
Okay.
Cause you could talk up on something, bro.
Mm. Okay.
Just even the older ladies just try to bat their eyes like, what type of other discounts can I get? Bro, first of all, and this be the wild shit. The girls don't be having real tires. They be having little bitty baby tires, spending like $100 a tire. And I'd be like, shit, bro. Girls don't want to spend money on tires, bro. So, if you a if you a single dude, bro, go work at tire bar, bro.
Okay. Hey, wise words
Unfortunately
from the
for me,
pimp.
I got
Wise words from the pimp, man.
unfortunately for me, I got expensive ass tires, so I wasn't flirting and saving no money.
You should have. You should have been up in there. Hey,
I
look.
wasn't getting this.
You should looked over there like, hey, hey, daddy. You know,
He still look over here like, hey, daddy.
then do what you do.
There was nothing. Yeah, there was nothing to do, bro. Bro, he showed because I got the exact same tires. He showed me the tires. I was like, well, I guess I gotta fucking spend that. But
First off,
shit is
pause. I
not
gotta say
cheap,
pause
bro.
right
And I
there.
know people
Pause.
with big. Hey, bro, I know people with bigger wheels and tires than me, and I was just like, shit ain't cheap, bro. But having good tires and stuff, it helps. So shout out to everybody in Texas and everywhere else that got hit with the Arctic blast. I know y'all
What's y'all
wasn't ready
temps like?
for it. Nobody was ready for it, bro. So I actually got a day off of work today. So like it wasn't really that cold, to be honest with you. I think the lowest temp was like 20 something. We got like a little light dusting of snow. So
Did
that
they
was
shut y'all
pretty
city
much
down
it.
for
But I
that?
think that the main concern was like ice in the morning time. Bro, they shut the whole city down for that shit, bro. They not used to it. They shut it down. It's shut down.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
There's
I
there's
think
no
what shut us
time.
down. What shut us down? We had about 6 feet of snow one year, and it was a bunch of cars stuck on Lakeshore Drive. They had to shut the city down like
Exactly.
3 days. But but see, if it ain't that, we still moving
Yeah,
around here.
yeah, bro. I mean, I'm just happy that the power didn't go down and none of that other shit. It was
You
just
snakes
cold,
and everybody, all the snakes is good. No, no, her stuff went out.
Yeah. Who, me?
Good.
Oh, bro, what's crazy is like my mini split in my garage has not worked for well over a month. So I got space heaters in there because the company that has my warranty for my mini split, they act like they don't know how to fucking fix it. So like I'm still dealing with them, but it's got to get
You had
fixed
that mini split for
eventually.
like 2 years, 3 years now.
Man, I had that mini split since June of 2020.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I think they got you,
Yeah,
bro.
bro. You know what the problem is going through smaller companies, and the person that you deal with is like different from the other people at the company. You like the person that I originally talked to, bro, he died apparently. So like
Damn,
everybody else at the company
that's
is
fucked
like
up.
they
They
act
like,
they act
who is
like they
this
don't
dude?
know
Who is
what's
this
going
nigga?
on. Yeah, I was just like, bro, man, where my boy Asperza, man? Where's he at? Like
Hey,
he
bro.
died.
Hey, hey. Shit, really, all you gotta do, bro. Shit, we get off the phone tonight. When we get off the show tonight, make that call up to heaven. See if he answers.
Shut the fuck up. All right, bro. You got you got any announcements you want to make, bro? We've been at this for like 20 plus minutes. We need to get
My
Eddie
fault, bro. Hey, we just
in the
missed the people.
building.
We just want to let y'all know that, hey, Adam Salad. Hey, shout out to everybody on the Illinois show. We are holding it down because we always in these bogus temps. So this ain't new to us. We ain't new to that. We true to that. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all because the whole
I
city
got some
was
stuff
just
up my
like,
sleeve. I got some stuff up my
we
sleeve.
not
Y'all
coming
got to be on the lookout
outside.
though. Watch the page.
The whole city was like, we not coming outside. You just gonna die.
But no, man, that's it, man. Good to see everybody doing good, man. Congratulations to the people having clutches. Shout out to Tuck. Tuck just had some. Tuck,
Yeah, shout
I
out to
think
Tuck.
he had a clutch, a female layer clutch, and he's about to have some eggs hatch soon. We got
Did he?
Adam
Congratulations,
Salad.
Tuck.
Salad too. Salad just had his female, his 90-year-old female layer clutch. I think Ripley is her name. Shout out to Adam. Um, who else, man? And shout out to our keepers too, man. I had to talk to somebody this week and let them know that we still appreciate our keepers too, man. You don't gotta be no breeder to pull up to the bar room or to get recognized or no credit from us.
Be on the show, bro. You don't
Hey,
gotta be no
hey,
fucking breeder to be on the bar, bro. Like you just
man, we
gotta
always tell
be.
people,
You just gotta be available and be cool.
yeah, we always tell people be a keeper first. So ain't nothing changed with us. We still gonna. It don't matter if we talk to somebody like True Boss or we talk to somebody like me who ain't been breeding a lot. Or you talk to a new keeper who
Okay,
don't breed
go
at
watch
all,
what
man.
movie is on.
You're more than welcome. You're more than welcome. If you speak
Yeah,
Chinese,
and
if you speak Swahili, it don't matter what you speak. Pull up, man. We'll try to translate it for you.
we is this still we the best in Swahili in 2025?
Yes, we still the best in Swahili.
We the best in what's the other one? We the best in
We the best in
patois.
Swahili. Swahili. We the best in patois. And we the best in I think we the best
Haitian
in.
Creole. We the best. We the best in
No,
Haitian Creole.
no, it was one for Sal. We the best in, I think it was we the best in London. Something like that.
We the best in London. Yeah. So listen, you don't gotta be. You don't have to be a breeder to be on the CBR, bro. You just gotta have, you know, personality and be willing to kick it. It's still the motherfucking bar. So I'd much rather have somebody come through that kicks it that wants to be here more so than somebody that's just like, oh, I've accomplished all this shit and they don't have no fucking personality.
For sure.
Like,
For sure.
that's not helping
But at the
us.
end
It's
of the
not
day,
helping
man,
you.
at
Like,
the end of the day, we had these
if
shows
you
so
want to
y'all can
do,
come out here and have fun. So
yeah, that's the whole
you
purpose of
gotta
this
have
shit.
fun.
Like sometimes, man, it ain't. We ain't lie to you. It ain't a lot of people that for some of the shows will come and view it. But for the people that do come and view it, like shit, we trying to have fun with y'all, and that's probably why we've been fucking up on this intro because we glad to be back kicking it with y'all, especially my people in the chat. Got much love for y'all, but we got to stop fucking around. So we gonna bring in our guest, man. What's
Eddie
up, Eddie,
Gavarito,
bro?
father
Yo,
boy
what's
himself.
good?
What's
Yo,
going
what's good?
on?
What's good, my G? Yo. Thank you guys for inviting me and you guys cracking up the chat and everything like that, man. Everyone going, bro, with y'all fucking WWE, Raw tonight, Nitro talk, bro. Everything in between, man.
Shit,
Good
man.
night,
That's
bro.
what we was raised up on, bro.
Love you too,
Nah, I
man.
hear that.
We
I
didn't
hear that.
have TikTok, bro. We had we had grown
No,
men
I
harming
wasn't talking
each
about. I
other
just
on
want to
TV.
rock. I wasn't doing that stuff when I was a kid. I was outside hopping
We wasn't
fences.
doing nothing.
on bikes and shit, riding GTs and dynos and mongooses, and waiting for
Yeah.
wrestling to come on.
Shit, light shit on fire.
Yeah,
Brush fires, yo.
fireworks and shit.
Shout out to my rural kids, bro. They definitely lit a few brush fires.
Right.
Listen, I know y'all don't want to own up to that shit, but it was a long time ago. Shit, we done lit some brush fires and may or may not have got out of control.
Hey, I
So
done threw a
shout
couple
out to
rocks
that,
off.
man.
I done threw a couple rocks off a bridge. You know, maybe a car, a car or two maybe passed under.
Wild boy, dog. What the fuck you doing out here, bro?
Yo,
It wasn't bricks though.
shout out to the.
It wasn't like The Good Son, like that movie, The Good Son. It wasn't full on that.
He wasn't Macaulay Culkin in The Good Son.
Nah, I ain't gonna Macaulay Culkin throw no brick on the light windshield.
Shit. Shout out to my kids down south. You know, we had a term for what we was doing. It was called hunching. Shout out to everybody that was hunching down south.
Okay.
With his kids.
Okay. We called it juicing up here.
Some
Same thing.
people they had other names. Yes, what I think we had a game for when we was kids. We called it Catch a Girl, Freak a Girl. So thank God that we done grew out of that.
Oh shit!
Yeah, y'all called it out and go get it. Shout out to everybody that done grew out of that shit. But we grown now. We don't do that.
Okay.
But anyway, Eddie, man, this is part 3.
Well, hold on.
Father
I
Blue.
still play Catch a Girl, Freak a Girl, man. It's just with one person.
Okay, that's not necessary.
Okay, all right, sorry about that.
he said for the record, he said, let me set the record straight. I'm still in the game. I'm still wiping my feet on that wet towel before I get on the court.
I'm a great player too. Hey, I put the powder on my hands. I put the do the LeBron.
He's like, if you don't see me, bro, I'm wearing ripaways. I still got my warm-ups on. I'm just waiting to get back in the game. That was wild. He said, keep my knees warm. He said, while I'm sitting here waiting to get back, somebody give me some popcorn and a pickle. I got to keep my electrolytes up. Oh, man. But this is the 3rd time we don't have Father Blue come over here, man. So we appreciate you for fucking with the bar, man.
Of course, man. So thank you guys for fucking with me, man. I appreciate y'all, you know?
Yeah, man. So you got to tell them where you at right now, bro.
Oh, man. Yeah, we're not at the typical treehouse or anything like that back home in Brooklyn, New York. We represent right now. But we're actually in Florida right now. I'm chilling on my homie's boat. My good friend Bennett. We're on his little yacht right now and everything like that, chilling and everything like that over here. Chopping it up with you guys right now.
I appreciate that, man. Hey, look, you out in the middle of the ocean on a boat, and you ready?
I'm not in the middle of the ocean. I wish. Not in the middle of the ocean. I said on a boat, but we're in the middle of the ocean. We on a boat though.
Okay, all right. Well, we call it an undisclosed location. Still thank you for pulling up with us.
Yeah. Of course.
But look though,
I know
damn well it's hot in Florida. Why you just like you still in New York, brother?
Dude, it's cold down here, bro. Like as Trav said, man, that cold snap hit down here hard too, man. Heavy. I flew in this morning. And back in New York, we were at like 18, 15 degrees. And then coming over here, it's like, I don't know, probably like 40, 50, something like that, maybe 60. I can't tell, but it's cold. It's cold enough that I gotta wear the hoodie and the jacket,
Okay. Chopped cheese, you know what I'm saying?
I brought one in my bag with me.
He's in Florida, bro. He traded his chopped cheese to get down to Florida to get some conch fritters.
No, the chopped cheese activity, it's still on the move. He still got the puffy vest with the hoodie up under it. Still repping.
Yeah, bro. He got the chopped cheese aficionado outfit on. You see him coming to the bodega and be like, bro, don't fuck his sandwich up, dog. Yeah, right? Don't fuck his sandwich. You're going to hear about it. Bro.
I'm judging, bro. I'm judging off the rip.
He's judging.
Your string ain't cheesy enough, bro. But anyway, man. So listen, it's been a minute since you've been here. I know that there's people that don't know about you. So give them a quick rundown about who you are. And some stuff that some people may not know.
Yeah, of course. My name is Eddie. I go online as Father Blue, and I've been for the past like 4 or 5 years working particularly with one species, the blue tree monitor, working with those animals, learning about them, sharing information, breeding them, and even visiting their natural habitat in Indonesia. I've been developing a film, and being very present in social media and everything like that, and talks about
Mm-hmm.
any information regarding that animal and stuff like that. So I've been around the block for a couple of years now and everything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much me. I live in New York, but I'm from originally Washington D.C. and right now I'm in Florida and we're chilling. So many things that if you followed the story over the years, so many things have changed from what we were
Yeah.
originally doing to what we're doing now, and hopefully we'll talk about it soon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the big picture of everything.
Hey, what age were you when you moved from DC up to New York?
Ooh, that I think I want to say I was like 21 or 20, something like that when I moved up. Yeah, I was like pretty young, man. I moved out of my house at like 18. I got kicked out of my house at 18, and then I worked for I fucked around for a year, like riding bikes with my friends and everything like that, doing that whole thing, racing bikes, like bicycles, and then I got introduced to the New York like underground bike racing scene, and then I fell in love with New York City because of that, and then I moved to New York City like right after, like real soon right after that, and I've been there ever since. Honestly.
Hey,
So
bro, I gotta ask you this question before we move on. I gotta ask you this one question before we move
okay.
on.
Got you. Go.
Why do DC people think that they better than Baltimore people and they 45 minutes away?
Bro, cause they say Doug, bro. I don't even know what Doug means, man. Like honestly, bro. Like I know what a
Listen,
dog is. I call my homie my dog, but I don't call my homie my Doug, bro.
dude,
Like
my
that's it right
dad.
there, man.
Bro, you know what's crazy? You know what's always crazy to me about Baltimore people, bro? Baltimore DC people was like they act like they so far away. I was just like, bro, like
Bro,
y'all
that's
like
45
I don't know
minutes,
if I know
bro.
two major cities that are this fucking close. Like they be acting like, oh man, they wild far away. I'm like, bro, you 45 minutes away. If there was no traffic, you'd be 30 minutes away. Like you
Yeah.
not far from them is your cousins. For real. Them is
Nah,
your cousins.
never.
Yeah,
I don't know. I
your
don't associate
goddamn
with those
cousins.
fools, man. I love my both of my
Oh,
homies, but I don't associate.
bro,
And
listen,
so, like,
y'all
what do
different
y'all
people
do?
down south.
My fault. Go ahead.
No, y'all just super close to me. Like to people from outside, like especially to a southerner, it's just like y'all dress the same, y'all act the same. Is the only difference is I will give y'all this, like Baltimore is a little more dingy. Is a little more dingy than DC,
Yeah,
but y'all
I
got the
heard that.
same problems. Like Baltimore is
Yeah.
more heroin addicts, and
She saying
DC.
like
You go to the
Baltimore is like
nicest part of
it's dirty
DC,
people in
you go.
Baltimore. That's what you saying?
Nah, bro. Here the problem, bro. DC people be acting like oh those fucking poor junkies in Baltimore,
Oh
and then
shit.
you just casually see a crackhead walk past you in DC smoking rocks off a can. Just like y'all the same shit.
Okay.
I don't know, but you know what the DMV stand for, right?
Yeah, what's it?
DC, Maryland,
The
Virginia.
yeah.
DC, Maryland, Virginia. That's why DC first, Maryland second. That's all I gotta say. No disrespect
I
to the Maryland
mean, homies,
homies, the Baltimore homies, but DC first. They
Yeah,
copy
but
us everything
no
that we do over
disrespect, but
there.
plenty of disrespect.
listen, I will say this, bro. I will say this before we get off the topic, bro. Listen, one thing that I remember is like it would get cold, and this is how I know y'all was cousins, right? Because you could tell that a lot of people in Baltimore lived in old houses and smelled like old houses. And
Oh
you could tell
shit.
the people in
Wow.
DC lived in old houses and smelled like old ass houses. I was just like, y'all the same. Y'all just don't want to
Yeah,
believe it.
I guess.
Okay.
Mothballs and houses has got a bunch of code violations. That's what it smelled like. All
Hey,
right,
but look,
man. So
hey, what did y'all do at these underground like? What does one do at like an underground bike gathering?
Oh, like so, the underground bike races is more so like unsanctioned races throughout New York City. So like it's pretty much we rode what you guys probably know like as fixies or fixed gears, and they're like bikes with no brakes, and we do these
Yeah,
races going around town, racing to like these different checkpoints, and the fastest person to get to these checkpoints and do it correctly would win like a pot of money or something like that. You know, so we would meet
y'all
up and
do it
there'll
like
be a
in the middle
gang
of
of us. There'll
traffic and
be
stuff.
yeah, through traffic. It don't. I mean, it doesn't matter. However you get there, the fastest to get to there first correctly wins the money. That's how it was, you know. And so we would do these races every weekend, every other weekend through the summer or through all over the year. And the culture in New York City was like the mecca. If you talk about in that space anywhere in the world, New York is like number one in terms of places that you want to race. Because if you can race in New York and you can live, then you can race anywhere, and type of deal. Unfortunately, like that's just how it is. Because of how crazy the traffic is. You think about New York traffic, it's all these cabs and all these trucks and all these cars, and
Hmm.
if you can maneuver through that stuff safely and live, and you win a prize money, and you a hard ass. So that's the culture that I was from in that space. And when I saw that in New York and got introduced to that, I wanted to be a part of that, and that's why I moved up there.
So like when you was in the races, like what was the most in the pot that you was in the race for?
For example, the race that made me move to New York City was Red Hook Crit, and that's a big race. That one started as an illegal race that then went like super worldwide. Like they were doing these races in New York, in Barcelona, in all over the world. And I think the prize pot for that was like I don't know, like 10 grand, something like that, if you won.
Oh damn! All right, man, I might have to hop on the bike. Shit, fuck.
Yeah, yeah. So it got big. It got big at one point. Like
Okay,
our underground stuff when we did it in the city, you probably win like $200, $300, something like that. But like when it got big
I'm
time,
good.
when people started sponsoring it and the world started seeing it, it got big, man. At a point, it got big. There was a lot of money to be made. People were traveling the world just to race these races.
hey, bro, you ever seen that movie
I would like to see
Airborne?
a documentary about that. That sound pretty dope.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. No one's done one. I mean, there's a couple of them old school ones, but nothing like as of now that someone's gone back to look at that
Yeah.
culture and that lifestyle. It was a crazy time, man. It was crazy. People making money off of bikes, and you was making money off of bikes whether you were, delivering legal packages or delivering drugs or whatever it was, food, whatever it was. People was making money just riding their bikes back there, man. It was cool. It was a cool time.
Hey, bro, you ever seen that movie Airborne that was made like '93 when them dudes had like the rollerblade race through the city?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's how
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit
yeah.
sounded. It sounded
Same,
like
pretty much,
Airborne,
exactly
like
with
It do
bikes.
kind of
Yeah,
sound
riding
like
yeah,
down
that.
Devil's
yeah,
Backbone.
yeah,
That's how that shit
yeah.
sounded to me. I gotta
Yeah.
see that movie again. I ain't seen that movie since I was a kid. But yeah, so one thing that we do want to talk about getting off, pretty early is your collection has changed. So let's talk about that.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah. So a lot of the like people that have been following me for a long time, I started off with a big, large group of animals, and that's where I got the name Father Blue was because I was working with a large collection of blue tree monitors, or a large group of blue tree monitors. And
Yeah.
at the end of it, I think I had about 10 different blue tree monitors, all like male and female split. And I had worked with that group of animals for a particular reason, which was to have a very diverse group of bloodline of animals that I can help breed in the USA to establish these animals. And then the goal was to donate animals across the world and across the USA to different zoos so that they can then start their own breeding groups and propagate them so that we can continue like conserving the species, right? That was the
Hmm.
reason why the project, like what it encompassed at the end. Um, and through my travels, going to Indonesia and visiting Batanta multiple times and seeing the animals in the wild, my idea of like wanting to keep animals in captivity kind of pivoted. And a couple reasons why, I just I came back and I saw how these animals were living in the wild, and I came and I came back and I realized that like I could never provide those animals what they get in the wild. You know, these animals are
Mm-hmm.
climbing 60-foot, 100-foot trees. I could never replicate that in my house. And then the factor that I want to travel and see Indonesia more, and I want to be out in Indonesia more, in the field more, but having a large collection of animals hinders that, you know, that work, unfortunately. You know, once you get to a certain level of animals, you got one pet, that's one thing. But when you have 10 animals, 20 animals, 30 animals, how do you manage that, as well as going away for 30 days, two
Yeah,
months,
yeah,
3 months?
yeah.
You know, it gets hard, you know, and so we had to make the transition and switch. And uh, at the end of the year last year, I made the commitment to remove all the animals from my home. And I almost succeeded. And then through some unfortunate things that happened with the government in the USA, if you guys aren't aware, United States government has enlisted on the ESA Act, which is the Endangered Species Act, to list the blue tree monitor as an animal of endangered necessity. And so this animal is now illegal to move across state lines. And because of that law
Yes.
that passed, or that measure that's being passed, I was left with one animal that I couldn't rehome, and so I have one animal left out of my entire group of 10 plus
Mm-hmm.
animals that I've had over the span of my career and everything, working with these animals.
So that ban is something I want to get to a little later. But for those who
Mm-hmm.
don't know, what was the time? What was the time? You know that you had to put into to having 10 monitors? Because we've all seen. Maybe other people have not seen the level of husbandry that you had to put into it. So maybe some people will probably look at it and be like, "Damn, that looks a lot. Looks like a lot," because you know those cages were big. They were
Yeah.
intricate cages. So let's talk about the time and effort that was put into maintaining 10 10 monitors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You know, I think with any animal, once you have more than one, it becomes like, you know, something that you have to embed into your lifestyle, right? Because you gotta
Yeah,
make sure the animals are healthy, they're eating. You gotta make sure they're
yeah,
drinking. You gotta make sure that they're if they get sick, that they get the necessary medications that they need to make sure that they're healthy. You gotta make sure their environments are clean. They got to clean up, you know, poop and all this other shit that they produce. You got to make sure that, like, if something bad happens in your cage, like a bulb, you know, goes bad, you got to change that shit. Like, there's so many things that encompasses taking care of an animal, and you factor that by 10 different animals. That's a lot of work. And I specifically decided to work with this particular species, the blue tree monitor, and only that species. In my entire career of like working with the animals for the last 5 years, I've only kept blue tree monitors because I wanted to make like the routine easy, right? I wanted to make sure that everything that I did was the same for every single animal. But even still, man, that's a lot of work, you know? Like, for example, when I went away to Indonesia, I can't trust just my neighbor to come home to my house and feed my animals. Most people are afraid of
yeah.
lizards, you know? I had to trust my shorty, my lady, to take care of my animals when I'm gone. And that's such a big ask, because if an animal gets out and she has to catch it and it bites her, well, then now she's afraid of working with those animals, and she's not going to want to do this the next time. So there's so many different factors. And then there's one instance where I was able to produce blue tree monitors, and I hatched out three babies, and two of them made it. But then when I hatched those babies out, I was leaving to Indonesia, you know, and a baby tree monitor is 10 times worse in terms of taking care of versus an adult. And I couldn't leave my lady to take care of an animal like that. Who knows what could have happened? So I had to rehome those, you know. So like, it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And then I was only working with 10 animals. I can only imagine what it's like for someone that works with, like, you know, 10 times that amount or two times that amount even, and what sacrifices they have to make. But when you
Yeah.
work with animals at that scale, man, you really do sacrifice so much of your own personal life to ensure that your animals are doing well, man. And yeah, it's a lot of work, dude. A lot of work.
So I remember seeing it, and I remember talking to you about it. Like it was one of those things I was just like, damn, the way his cages are set up, like I can only foresee like how much time it's gonna take you to maintain the cages, just maintenance wise.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
man.
I understand, and like and this is no shot at you or anything. This is just what I observed. Like, if you are away from those cages for a significant amount of time, something can seriously go wrong
Yeah,
because they are that intricate.
right.
They have that many components to those cages,
Yeah,
and it's
man.
just like seeing your cages and Amy Benzie's cages between you two. Like those cages, they require a lot of monitoring. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, and luckily, I was able to be like foresee a lot of those issues, and so I automated a lot of things. Like I made sure that like my lights would turn on and off at a certain level and a certain like consistency every single day. I made sure my water misting was going off consistently as long as I topped off the water. I made sure that they had a regular food schedule with an actual schedule that was like we made sure that we were like on point with following and everything like that to make sure that everything was going well with that, but like you said, if anything happened, like for example, my basement floods and I'm not home, how does my lady by herself figure out how to like take care of all the electronics that might be on the floor so that they don't burn out and then change that and all that stuff? Like it's a lot of work, dude. It's a whole lot of work for anybody to be a part of. So I mean, shout out to the breeders and the guys that do this because they have to sacrifice so much to be in those positions as they are, and so I saw that and I was like, I don't want to be a part of that necessarily. And so I want to make the change so that I can do and pursue the things that I want to pursue, which is being in the field, seeing these animals, traveling, and things like that.
talk
Yeah.
about the
So
food
so
too. Can you talk about how expensive it was to feed the miners on a daily basis?
Well, it's
and
expensive, dude. Like,
after that, I want to get to like the mental toll of it.
yeah, yeah, it's expensive because you got to make sure that you have a ready supply of feeder insects, whether it's like you're breeding dubia roaches or you're breeding crickets or you're breeding grasshoppers or you're feeding mice or you're feeding eggs, and you got to do that every 2-3 days, on
Hmm.
average. And you figure, you times that by like 9 animals, and like each animal's eating maybe like 20 crickets, so like 20 times 8, that's 100 and what's like 160 crickets.
Yeah,
That's like if you go to Petco to buy that, that's a lot of money you're spending every single 3 days. To feed all your animals. It's a
yeah,
lot
you
of
doing that
money
three,
that
four
you have
times a
to
week, man.
invest.
That's a lot.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot of money that you're investing every single week to be able to keep up with this. And so a lot of the stuff that we bought was like bulk. We bought a lot of crickets in bulk. We bred our own dubia roaches. We bred at one point our own grasshoppers so that we can accommodate this. And then you got to be not afraid to feed it. Like imagine you asking your wife to feed your snake or to feed your animal, crickets and roaches. Most
Yeah,
most people don't
that's
even
probably
like
never gonna
bugs.
happen. They're not.
Yeah,
They're gonna
exactly,
die.
bro. Exactly. So
It's not happening in my house.
yeah, so that's a lot,
Roofmate's
dude.
gonna
That's a
die.
lot, man. That's a lot. And then to go on to what Travis was saying, the mental toll
Yeah.
is crazy, man, because you got to be on top of that. And if
Because
something
obviously, when you
happens,
got the animals first, you got them. They were kind of therapeutic, right? You got one or two, and you're like,
right,
all right, cool. Cleanliness is
right,
therapy. But
right,
then
right.
you still a builder, and it start turning into a job. And
It's a job, bro. It's a
how
job,
did
dude.
that start to take a toll mentally on you?
It takes a toll mentally on you because you're not allowed to have freedoms that you normally had, right? Because you can't take a 2-week vacation and be away from your animals. You have to have someone there to take care of them. So you got to stress about who can I trust to do this? Can I be away from them that long? What's my contingency plan if something bad happens? There's so many things that could go wrong during that time. I'll be on vacation and I'll have a pet sitter, and the entire vacation I'm stressing about like, yo, is he doing the right thing? Is everything going right? I remember my first time I did this, like before I kept tree monitors, I kept black-headed monitors, right? Varanus tritus, and I went
Yeah.
away for 2 weeks, and I left my brother to watch my animals, and he was like, "Yeah, I watch your animals, no problem." And I went away for 2 weeks. Well, I go for my 2-week trip. I come back, all my animals are dead. And I asked him, "What the fuck happened, dude? I was gone for 2 weeks.
Whoa,
Why are all my
fuck.
animals dead?" He
Damn.
didn't want to come. He didn't come to my house. He didn't want to go to my house to feed. He was like, "I'm too lazy. I didn't want to come to your house to feed them." But those are the things. Like I didn't expect that. That's my brother. But that could have happened with anybody, if they weren't
Yeah.
ready or didn't know. Like these are the things that happen. And the whole time I'm thinking my animals are good. They're fine. They'll be cool. But dude, it's a mental toll. And like, for
You got to
example,
waste the vacation.
I
You ain't even enjoyed yourself on
yeah,
your
dude.
vacation. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, like I was mentioning earlier, I bred blue tree monitors for the first time last year, and I hatched out three beautiful babies, and two of them survived. And right after they hatched, 2 months later, I had tickets booked to Indonesia. And unfortunately, as much as I wanted to keep those animals, and I would have loved to have kept those animals, I knew that if I'd left those in the care of my lady, there was a chance that something bad could have happened. And so I had to let those animals go. I had to let them go to someone that could actually take care of them, that wanted them and would provide for them. And that was a sacrifice that I had to make. That's a mental toll
how
because
they
like
doing
those are the
now?
first.
Are they
They're
thriving
doing
still? How are they
good.
doing?
They're doing good. They're thriving good. I see them getting posted here and there and everything. They're doing good. I appreciate that they're living an okay life and a good life. But that was a toll that I had to make mentally. Like those are the first animals I ever produced. The first ones ever produced. I had to let them go because I had something, an obligation already made, and I knew I was not going to be able to take care of those animals. So
In
it's
Indonesia, that's
hard,
not
dude.
no
It's hard
trip
when
that
you
you
get
can
into that
just
position.
cancel. You
Yeah,
can't
you
just
can't
reschedule that
you
shit.
can't just come home from that one.
Yeah, yeah,
So
dude.
mentally, one thing I want to talk about is just like I know me and Kino spoke about this before, but yo outlook on your collection changes when you first come in and you just a
Yeah,
new
dude.
keeper and you
Right.
only have a few animals, and then your collection just it balloons, and then you
You be
start
like
breeding
Travis.
animals,
You be
and
like
then it
Travis when
balloons
you just
again.
successful. You successful with your first 5 collections, and then you go from 5 animals to like 85.
So then it's just like you have these animals, and even things that you might have did in the beginning, you're just like, "Fuck, I don't have the time for that." And then
Right,
it
man.
just changes, and then you have all
Yeah.
these animals. But what's the come down like? Where you're just like, "Well, shit, I don't got to do this. I don't got to check on these animals." What's the feeling? What's the progression of feelings from first
Mm.
getting them to having a bunch to like now? To you just
I
like I
you
don't
know
have.
I don't I maybe some other people might think differently, but for me it was hard, dude, and it's still hard. Like I go into my basement, I'm like, dude, I worked so hard to build what I built, over the last 5 years. Like I put my heart, my soul, my all my efforts into that, and to go into the
Mm-hmm.
basement now and I have one left, and it's like, wow, dude, like this is really what it came to, like everything that I worked hard for. What did I accomplish? And I still look at some of the accomplishments and my achievements as great things are for my merit, right? Like I bred them, I got
Mm-hmm.
to see them in the wild, I'm making a documentary. I still hold those achievements that I met personally to my own standard, like, wow, you did that. Pat myself on the back for that, right? That's my own personal opinion. But I still go in my basement, I'm like, dude, like that's gone, like my first pair of animals that I ever purchased, they're with someone else and they're enjoying them, like it's hard, dude. It's really hard. It's not easy. It's like the whole decision wasn't easy. I didn't come back saying like, oh man, I really want to get rid of every single animal. I came back saying like, dude, I as an individual cannot provide what I believe is the standard they should have. And that's different compared to like saying like, oh, I just don't want to keep animals. I felt like I just couldn't provide. If I owned a fucking acre in Batanta and I could have my animals in the wild and I could watch them every day or something like that, like that's one thing, but I can't. I know as a human being, I could not provide that, and so I just felt like I couldn't do that, and it was just very hard to come to terms to reality that's just how it is. But the flip side is that like hopefully with the work that we're inspiring to do, we'll have a bigger impact for the future of these animals in the long term, which is like conserving them, giving more information, learning about them, and doing actual work in the field where they live instead of where I want them to live in my house. So it's hard, man. It's not easy at all. I like I said, I go into my basement every single day and I have to look at those
So what do
walls and they're
you?
empty.
So what are you doing to so how we talked about kind of like at the beginning it was like a therapeutic thing for you. Well, now with that void in your life and having them missing, you go in your basement and it's kind of like a part of you gone. How are you feeling that void? What are you doing therapy wise, therapeutically, I should say, To
Well,
kind of feel what you was missing, what you are
well,
missing.
it pushes and inspires me to pursue my other goals, right? Which is to do the field work, to go out there and see them in the wild, and to do the projects that we have planned. Like our humanitarian projects, working with the people that live in those islands,
About
educating
217.
people when people have
Yeah.
questions or anything like that about the animals. I still give as much information that I feel as though I can give when they're asked about them and everything, to help in that sense. And it gives me freedom to pursue these other things. Like, for example, we'll probably talk about this later, but like we made this big step where like originally we were going to plan to move to Indonesia at the end of this year. There was a plan to move to Indonesia and work closely with the natives of Batanta to help educate and protect these animals. And we took that a step further where we acquired a sailing vessel so that we can finish the sailing vessel to sail it to Indonesia and have something as a resource to help educate, protect, give supplies and everything like that to those people. So that one thing, that little dark cloud that happened, helped this other ray of sunshine happen at this end. So I don't take it
Mm.
for granted what happened, but I use it as motivation to keep on going with the other projects that we have going on.
Yeah. So that's that's kind of like leading to what I wanted to
Yeah.
get into next, right? So we talked a few times and we talked about travels to Indonesia. A lot of people may not going to know about some of the things that we've talked about in the past. So we want to kind of go. We want to talk about when you first went, things that
Yeah, yeah,
happened, to how it got to the point that it is now. Talk about the vessel that you're building and the projects. And then after that, we'll talk about the documentary. What up, Sal? Sal's in the building, bro. You got somebody came all the way over here from the UK to hear you speak, bro.
yeah. Hell yeah.
That's Sal. It's
Hell
late
yeah,
over there with
man.
Sal at too, so Sal.
Hey, listen, Sal. I was gonna see this video. It was a Texas Taquarius. I was just like, nah, I'm not gonna do that
Wow.
to him because
Wow.
I was just like, bro, I
What
know
up,
you might
Delic?
be out here alone,
Wow.
bro. I don't
That's
want you to get
wow.
caught up. What up, Delic?
That that is wow. He's from
Bro,
some
listen,
Texas, a double T, huh? Okay.
a double T,
Texas
a
Aquarius.
Texas T. Instead of a Texas
Texas
T.
Aquarius. That's crazy.
All right.
Hey, if you
All
know,
right,
you know
Eddie.
what a Aquarius is.
If
If
you
you
don't
don't
know
know,
what a
find
Texas,
out.
if you don't know what a Taquarius is, you ain't been around long enough. All right, Eddie, let's talk about travels to Indonesia.
Yeah, man. That the first trip was such an eye-opening experience, man, to be out in that land. And just for the record, like my first trip to Indonesia was specifically so that I can learn how to better take care of these animals. I went out there with an open mind to say, hey, what are these animals dealing with in the wild, and how can I incorporate that information back into my own husbandry so I can provide the best enclosures that I could. And I came back and I learned so much. I learned so many things in terms of like temperature regulation,
Yeah.
airflow, humidity, things like that of that nature, right? And also some other things that I wasn't expecting to learn, like the wildlife trade and things like that of these animals. And it was so eye opening that we went a second time. And both times that we went out there, we were in Indonesia for 30 days total each time. So 60 days total, boots on the ground in Indonesia. And the second time we went out there was even more revealing because not only did we see more animals, but we got to see more of the territory. I got to see the entire island of Batanta. So we circumnavigated from one point of Batanta to the entire. I went around the entire island of Batanta to see every single inch of
Yes.
the coastline of Batanta, and then also meet new people, learn about different things happening, talking to people that have bbeen in the wildlife trade longer than I was even born, and my parents born, dealing with this sort of thing, and it was a different vibe, I learned so much coming from those experiences, and it was a scary thing, and I don't think a lot of people grow up and think they're gonna go, when they're keeping animals, ever imagine that they're going to be able to see the actual natural habitat from where these animals are from. And I was blessed with the opportunity to do it twice. And so it was a crazy thing, honestly, experiencing all that, man. It really was. It really was. And I'm
Mm.
grateful for the opportunity. And I shared a lot of information. And because of that, those trips, we started to develop a documentary to tell the story of what's happening, right? The documentary originally started with kind of my story, why I started working with the animals, what was so important about the animals for me, and then learning about the natural history of the animals. And then it changed. It transformed over the past couple years because it went from like my story to like the story of the animals, and then it changed from the story of the animals to the story of the people. And it's just a crazy mix of things. And now with this new thing happening here in the USA with the ESA listing, it's been a wild ride, man. It's been a really wild ride.
So with
Mm.
the travels to Indonesia, and I also don't want to just completely go past this point, but your keeping changed a lot once you saw how the environment was and how you changed your husbandry to try to match that. So before we go on past that, I want to get some more details about how you changed your husbandry to actually match the environment, and because a lot of things that you saw is it applies to the environment that we also keep chondros in,
Right,
and
right, right.
I want to talk about that. I want you to give some details about that. Give people some ideas.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So the
talk about some
environment,
stuff that you saw over there that you saw. I mean, shit. Let's be honest, that wasn't so rosy. Give us the
yeah,
rough side of it too.
yeah, yeah. So the things that I saw out there that was like changed my keeping here was just more so like the environmental status of Batanza, right? I never went in, when I kept here in the USA, the way that my keeping was
Oh,
very
look at
bare
little
minimum,
nigga
I would say,
Nigo. What up, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Everything was like to be as easy for me to be able to accommodate for the animals. And then going out to Indonesia and actually seeing them in the wild, I saw that the humidity ranges were way more higher than what I was keeping. I saw that the moisture levels in the actual environment was way more dense than what I had even
Hey,
imagined, right?
hey, it was
Like,
hard. It was hard for your ass to breathe out there. Huh? Them lungs
yeah,
was
dude,
heavy,
it
boy.
is. It is, right? It's super dense in the jungle. It's super dense. And then when
Yeah,
you're climbing up these steep hills, it's really hard to be out there and try to, breathe or anything like that because of how
yeah,
humid it can be inside these jungles. You walk into these jungles and you're dry. You come in with a dry new fit. By 30 minutes in, you're drenched in sweat because of how hot and humid it is in these places. The
in the
abundance
terrain, you
of
climbing and shit.
yeah,
Yeah,
you're climbing. It's a way more
yeah.
steeper elevation. The
Mm.
amount of food I was over here feeding a very insect heavy diet, and when I was over there, the one thing that I noticed was the diets weren't lining up to what the information was provided. Where I was feeding a lot of insects, I was seeing more skinks out there. I was seeing a more of a different type of food that they would
So,
potentially eat, and I don't
eat
have
like
any
mammals.
documentation. Yeah, no, not mammals, but other reptiles, and potentially I don't have this documented.
Mm.
But what I saw was there was just an abundance of these other smaller species of lizards that were more able to reach the same places that these animals were living in that made more sense to me as a food source versus katydid or a grasshopper. I saw katydids, I saw stick insects, I saw grasshoppers, but I saw more skinks in the same area or vicinity that these blue tree monitors are living in that made me theorize that this is possibly a bigger food source to them versus the other. Now, again, this is a theory, so I don't know, but that changed. And then there was also like the elevation change where I told you it was hot and heavy inside of the brush, right? When you're in the deep jungle. Well, when we got to the high point where we were actually seeing tree monitors up in the canopies, in the same level of the canopies, it's so much drier up there. And it's way more windier and more airflow and cooler.
No,
So
cool.
taking all that into account made me come back and be like, hey, dude, there's not only do you have to combat this humidity issue, you also have to provide airflow. You also have to give these influxes. You have to give more substrate in the enclosures to provide a bigger humidity barrier. And there were so many things that came back and changed. To be quite honest, the
Did you
light cycles
see?
changed.
Did you see?
But sorry, brother.
So like staying with the elevation thing right there. Did you see animals only stay high in the mountains, or did you see like during certain parts of the day these animals migrating back and forth?
We saw them on a handful of times on the lower level, right, of the canopy, right? But for the majority of
Mm-hmm.
the time, they were at the highest point of the canopy. And my only assumption for that is because the higher canopy allowed them to bask. The higher canopies
Right.
have open spaces where they can actually get sunlight and they can actually
Mm-hmm.
bask farther than they can in the lower canopy. And if they do come into the lower canopy, it's for feeding of some sort, right? They're coming down there to maybe get some type of grub, some type of lizard, what have you. And we did see a couple instances of those, but for the most part, like for example, one
So
instance
early in the day when the sun was reaching its highest, you would see them at the elevated heights.
it was a mixed. It was a mix. In the highest of the
Mm.
day, they would be more so in the mid canopy. Early in the morning, maybe they were at the lower canopy, and then higher in the day, they were at the top canopy. Yeah, is what I would say. Yeah, and for
Okay.
example, one example of this is like we were in the forest looking for tree monitors, and we were looking for these guys, and one of the guides that I was with was able to spot a tree monitor from, I want to say, probably like 80 foot away, and he was able to see just the silhouette of the head. And I have this on camera, that just the silhouette of the head all the way. This animal was at the very top of the tree, just basking, looking at us. He was able to see it. I couldn't believe that. I thought it was a leaf, and we only saw it after we took out our big zoom cameras and dialed in and could see that there was an actual blue tree monitor. But yeah, man, it's crazy the information that we learned and gathered from these trips and things like that. But to go
Yeah, that
back,
truly
like,
sounds like Keno locate
yeah,
Chick-fil-A's on
but
Saturdays on his lunch
seeing
break.
this stuff, I
Or a
came back and I
midget,
was
you
like,
know
dude,
what I'm saying? Either
I
or.
could never replicate that.
Get a zoom out, you know what I'm saying?
listen, listen. One of the greatest joys of life is talking to Keno before he gets his Chick-fil-A on Saturdays.
But that sounds very racist. You know what I'm saying? That sound like
I didn't
I'm about
say
the happiest when I'm about to eat chicken, brother. That's
nah, bro. This is how you act, and then you get your chicken, and then you become a different person. He calms down after you get his Chick-fil-A.
That's crazy. That's it's gonna stereotype. Huh?
Nah, it's not like I said you was at Harold's, bro.
You catch me in hell though.
hey,
So
hey,
look, the Bush people though, real quick, Eddie, the people that you was like,
you want to talk about the Bush people?
God
the people
damn,
that you
bro.
was
You
wandering
can't say
into these
that, bro.
bushes behind, like how you ain't never feel
Listen, he
like
still called them midgets, bro. Like you should expect Keto to have some real great term for you.
No, I'm saying
what
like
the fuck, dude?
these people, you know what I'm saying? Like you never like so you was like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? You know, I done came all the way from New York and I don't really know nobody over here. They might give me out of the middle of these jungles here, and chop me up. You ain't never had no trepidation,
I
like,
mean,
yeah,
yeah, man, yeah, because you don't know these people, bro. Like, there are instances where if you're not a confident person, you could feel scared in the mix, like because you're trusting these people to take you to the middle of the jungle where you've never been
I
at and
mean,
you don't
but
speak their
look, brother,
language.
look, we got not even confident. Look, we got meat on our bones, so they might take us out there, and they don't think they got a Thanksgiving dinner on their hands or something.
You think that they're gonna take you outside and be like, "Yo, let's put some black magic brisket rub."
Yeah, bro.
Hey, put the blue iguana rub on me,
Yeah, that's you, man.
Like,
Yeah, probably.
he's like, hit this motherfucking arm with some Lowry seasoning salt.
No, I didn't have that fear. I think I was just too like in like I had the rose colored glasses on the entire time, like just like wow, I can't believe I'm actually doing this. But that's a real fear, dude. Like that easily I could have, anything could have happened. Who knows? In a different universe, something else could have happened, but luckily it
But no,
didn't.
shout out to your scout though, man, for keeping you good over there.
I trust those guys. Those are my brothers now. I talk to them regularly, and those are people that I fully trust
Nice.
completely. fully trust completely because of these
That's
trips,
what's
you know.
up.
And to the point that I was on my last trip, I was able to bring another friend of mine, an American, with me, who was my cameraman, and he followed us the entire time. It was his first time in Botanica. He's a gentleman out of Virginia. Shout out to my man Juan. And I took
Right.
him out there, and he had such a safe time, and everything went perfect for him, you know. And like, I would have never trusted to bring in a second person had I not trusted these people, you know. So
For sure, of course,
it
yeah.
goes to show,
You
you
wouldn't
know.
have went. You wouldn't have went back.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Keto, there's a movie you should never watch. It's called Green Inferno. Never watch Green Inferno.
Well, it's what big niggas getting ate up in Indonesia,
Nah,
in the Indonesian
just don't
jungle.
ever watch the movie. It's a good movie, but don't ever watch it. Uh, so I do want to get to this point, man.
Watch the
So
Green Mile.
he said, "Watch the Green Mile." It's not the same thing. He's like,
I
it's the
hit the
same
ball.
shit. It's got green in the front.
Watch somebody grab a nigga nuts.
Yeah, Tuxin. Tuxin,
Oh,
yeah, that movie is fucked. Yeah, so,
Green Inferno. I'm gonna check it out.
let's talk about the documentary, man, and let's talk about the video because there's a lot of things that you said that you're working
Excuse
on
me.
as far as a documentary. There's things that people have said about the video that you worked on with undisclosed individual. So I want to talk about that to clear the air and like what your side of this is.
Yeah, of course, of course. So my documentary is specifically a passion project about my experience working with the tree monitors and learning about the tree monitors and bringing that information henceforth to the community, right? That's a completely separate project that I've been working on for the last like year and a half, 2 years on my own, produced by myself, funded by myself. There's no outside funding or anything like that. All that stuff is my own. And that's some of the information that I've shared with you guys on my social media and everything that you guys might have seen this. The other video that you guys are talking about is with a fellow creator, and the name of their thing is called the Critter Camp. And that was solely based off of a creator in New York City that was highlighting people in New York City working with exotic animals. That's all that video was. They had reached out saying, hey, they wanted to work with creators in New York City or people in New York City that are working with animals, and they reached out, and we did a shoot in my home. None of that stuff was scripted. None of that stuff was rehashed beforehand. That was completely off the dome, original content that we created together. And I gave them a tour of my home, and then I explained to them what are my plans. My plans being, hey, as me as an individual right now, I don't want to keep animals any longer, and so I'm making the decision to move away from working with animals in captivity. And there was some unfortunate misunderstanding of what was going on with that video and things like that because I voiced some opinions that most people or some people don't want to respect, I guess, in that sense is the best way to say it, or don't understand. But for example, I said again, animals, I don't want to keep animals. And at the end of that video, I say keeping animals isn't a right? And I think that's where a lot of people misconstrued the message of like what that meant. And for me to explain it here, the reason why I say that is because I honestly feel that like keeping animals isn't a right. It's like it's a luxury for us to be allowed to be able to work with any animal species, whether it's a dog, a cat, a horse, or a reptile, or anything like that. It's a luxury. It's a beautiful thing that we get to do, but we don't have the right, in my opinion, to enslave an animal or to not to use that word in that political term, but like to capture an animal and force it to live in our homes. We don't have that's not we don't get to make that decision, like in my opinion. And so that's where I was making that comment, and then a lot of people took, I guess, offense to it and made their own whatever they wanted to say with that word, like that. Unfortunately, like, it's the internet, and people can say and feel how they want to feel. I still feel Like in all of this, right? I love
Hey,
working with
Eddie, they said
animals.
you joined Peter, bro.
Yeah, yeah. That's one of the comments that people made is that unfortunately
They
people
said
were saying that like
you going around
how
throwing paint on people's furs.
yeah, people were saying that I was a PETA.
Don't throw it
I
on
was a
my fur.
PETA. It didn't make no sense. People were saying that I was a PETA supporter, that I was for this ESA listing, and I was working behind the scenes to make it illegal for us to keep animals. But I've been one of the biggest advocates of taking care and working with animals in a manner that I, in my opinion, and please take this with, again, listen to what I'm saying. In my own opinion, the standard I believe they should live in,
Mm-hmm.
and people think that that's a bad thing because I have an opinion on something, but everyone's allowed to have an opinion. If I
For
believe that
sure.
an animal should live in the largest enclosure that you can provide possible, that's my opinion. If you think it's okay to leave an animal in a cage this big, that's your opinion. We're all allowed to have
Mm,
opinions. But
for sure.
I've worked so hard for the past how long I've been keeping animals to help educate and help and explain what I've learned working with an animal so that people can take that information and do what they will so that they can better work with their animals. That's literally what I've been preaching for the last whatever long I've been doing this. And again, it's
Mm-hmm.
just been misconstrued in a stupid way. I don't understand how anybody can say that I've been working with PETA when I literally have animals and I've bred animals and I'm still working with animals and I have still blue tree monitor in my house. I have 3 blue tree monitor eggs incubating right now currently that are going to hatch in the next couple of months, God willing, and still working with animals. So I don't understand why anyone would even associate me with that, especially with since this whole ESA listing has been even enacted back in
Mm-hmm.
2023 or whenever it was listed. I was one of the main people advocating for us. Aside for other people, there's a beautiful gentleman named Stuart. I want to shout out to this guy Stuart out in the UK, who he's not even from the US, who's been telling us to get on this whole motion of like protecting our rights to take care of these animals or protecting our ability to take care of or work with these animals. A guy not even from the USA giving us the information and me regurgitating his information and as
Mm-hmm.
well as giving more information that we can use to better protect ourselves from these people trying to stop us. And yet people still think like I'm trying to stop us. I'm the one trying to stop us from keeping animals and I work for PETA. It doesn't make sense. It never made
Well,
sense
to
to me.
play
But
devil's advocate, because
Well,
I'm not one of the people saying this. I've heard it though, but to play devil's advocate, the timing of it was. Now, obviously, I know it's not, but on the outside looking in, it's like when people see, okay, you made 2 trips to Indonesia, and on your second trip, you know, you was like, man, I'm kind of seeing some shit I don't like over here. You know how these animals are kept, you know, after being caught, you know, ready for to be sent to farms to be labeled as farm bred, whatever the case. They see the timing and they're like, damn, now he comes back and he's, you know, so against it. And then bam, the ban happens, and I guess just to play devil's advocate, can you see
no, I
how
can see that.
people
I
would
can.
have people would say that, you know, along those lines?
Yeah. And it's just unfortunate for me. It's just bad timing, right? It's like I never expected that in December 26th, the ESA listing was gonna pass. I knew, I knew from like the beginning of when it was first like brought to our attention that this was gonna happen. But I also was one of the first people to provide a list, a pamphlet like, hey, word for word, copy and paste this, put your name on it, and send it to your representative. And I did this 2 years ago. And if you look on my page, it's still on my page. It's still on the Tree Monitor forums on Facebook and everything like that, where I said, hey,
Mm,
take this, copy and paste this, put your name on it, send it to your representative. Let's stop this now while it's still fresh, right? I
yeah,
started that back in the day, and that was from Stuart from, again, the UK, advising us in the USA about our issue. This guy who doesn't even have nothing to do with us in the US was advising us on how to protect ourselves, and no one in that time frame did anything. I mean, granted, a couple people
well,
did. A couple, I'm not going to take away from it. A handful of people
mm-hmm,
did, provide their information and they shared information and anything like that. But we didn't take any drastic measures. And I understand. I came back and I did my documentary and I worked on this, right? And then this happened. But even to put more forth of that, right? When this happened, I even I even went online and publicly I said, hey, look, I've been making this documentary and I've been doing this work for the past year and a half, 2 years, selfishly for myself. It's a documentary I'm producing about my story working with the tree monitors. How can I change the story of this project instead of it being by myself to instead being a beneficial story about the protection of these animals so that we can combat this ESA listing. I put this publicly and I can show you the screenshots. It was on my stories. I reached out to multiple people saying, hey, do you want to work together? Let's change this story. I have so much footage. I have so much information that we can use to create a new story that can help all of us fight this new listing. And nobody went ahead and helped me. Nobody wanted to work. You know, I'm not, you know, so again, it just, I understand how it can look strange. Like, oh, I came back and I don't want to work with animals.
Yeah.
That's my own feeling, bro. Like I can have that opinion. At the end of the
For
day,
sure.
I don't want to work with animals because I want to go to Indonesia and work with the animals in their field, in their actual where they live. Like how am I against PETA or whatever if I still want to help animals, dude? It doesn't make I don't know. It doesn't make. And you guys have known me for so many years, dude. Like it doesn't make sense.
For sure.
I don't know.
So it's not a thing about us because we know you.
Right. I understand.
But the thing is like contextually speaking on the situation is like I have known ever since I've known you. There has been, and this is not a knock against you. There's always been some type of perception about something that Father Blue was doing or not doing that, you know, came from other people and they said what they said. And my question to you at this point in time is, because that seems to have possibly continued on, do you think that this is just the next phase of, you know, things that just revolve around your name, about things that may be said about you by people who may be more adversarial than you look at as possibly, you know, people that you could actually work with? Because it doesn't seem like when you're saying I wanted to work with other people that you got much traction on that. And that's the question. Is I know a lot of people that they got good things to say about you. I know some people that, you know, they may have said things that may match up sometimes where they agree with, some that don't. And I think that you within the monitor community, just be honest with you, it sounds like a community that may not be as open to just various things happening. Because in the snake community or the reptile community at large, like we don't really control a lot of things that other people do. We can't really say anything about it, but it seems like within the monitor community, it's smaller.
Yeah. I unfortunately, I'm going to say that it goes. There's a couple. It's like a multifaceted thing, right? It's one of the things that I will say doesn't help, right? Is that when I came into this world, into this community, I was hot and heavy, right? I came in here and within 1 year I had this vast group of animals and I had this big plan and I took some advice from some people and I didn't take some advice from some other people and I didn't go into the cliques and I wanted to do my own thing because I wanted to learn from my own experience and that didn't help, right?
Let's be honest, Eddie, you came out hard on that. Hey, look, man.
Yeah.
Look, you came out. You was like, I know some people been doing it like this, and I'm doing it like this, and I'm making my custom, you know, highs, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing it, and then you'll make the videos. You'll be, well, I guess I'm doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
So I mean, but I'm learning on myself, right? Like,
I think that's what people kind of, to Trav's point, the people that's kind of like questioning you, they probably saw you like, damn, like he came out and he called himself Father Blue. You know, he came out and let y'all know.
People did not like that, Eddie. A lot of people did not like you calling yourself Father Blue.
People hate the name, dude.
But then the thing is, you were succeeding with it too. So then you may have some people that was like questioning you at first, and then when you start having success with it, they like, oh shit, okay, cool, yeah, I fuck with it. And he's on, and then now they see you going like the opposite way. They're like, damn, Eddie, which Eddie am I getting? Eddie,
Yeah.
Eddie, which way is the wind blowing today? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
So
I hear
just
that,
looking
man.
at
I
it from
hear
their
that.
perspective, I always try to, not saying I agree with these people, no, I just always try to, as I've gotten older, try to always, look at it not only from my perspective, but somebody from, giving a
For
dissenting
sure.
opinion of mine. You know what I'm saying?
For sure, for sure. And to put this to rest, right? Because that's one of the biggest things that I had coming up in this game was because I chose the name Father Blue, right? I just want
Yeah.
people to understand, right? The name Father Blue, people think like I came out, I'm such this ego-headed guy. I never bred tree monitors. How my name's
Friend
Father Blue.
Earl, for sure.
Father Blue, and this is funny enough because we talked about this earlier, right? This is the full
Yeah.
timeline where I got Father Blue from. Father Blue, the name Father Blue came from because I saw a documentary where I learned about this gentleman named Lord Baltimore. He's the gentleman that's named after the fucking city of Baltimore, right? And his name was
Sure.
Lord Baltimore. And I was like, wow, being a lord is a fucking cool ass name. If I had Lord in the front of my name, that'd be fucking cool, right? So I was like, how do I become a lord? Well, you gotta own land. I can't own land, so I was gonna
Hold
become
on,
a
don't say
fucking
you do it
lord,
in
right?
Chicago. Hold on, because you might
Right?
be,
Right.
they might give you a pyramid in
Vice
the front
Lord.
of
Yeah, yeah, right.
that.
Yeah,
Top
right.
hat.
So
You can
I
be a
can't.
vice
Yeah, so
lord.
I can't be.
Or you can be a traveler or a conservative. I
Right.
mean, whatever. I know.
Yeah, so I can't be a lord, right? So
Don't listen to this
fuck it, scratch
motherfucker.
that. A couple of days later,
Stop listening to this motherfucker
Hey,
named
yeah.
Keno.
shout out to my little homies in Chicago, but I ain't got nothing but love for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
A couple of days later, I'm
This
looking on like YouTube or like some type of fucking TV show, and this guy comes up, and his name is Father Steve, and he's like a fashion icon out of New York City, and his name was Father Steve. Everyone in New York City knew him as Father Steve, and he was like this fashion icon, the streetwear and everything like that. And I was like, wow, Father Steve sounds like a fucking cool name. So
Saying
my
you wasn't no
original
Dapper Don
Instagram,
though.
my
You know what
my
I'm saying?
my original Instagram that's like dedicated with bikes and everything like that is called Father Guerra. I have two different Instagrams. My first one was called
Yeah.
Father Guerra. And when I came into the Blue Tree Monitor shit, right, and I started working with Blue Tree Monitors, I like the first part, Father. My favorite color is blue. I work with Blue
Yeah.
Tree Monitors, so I chose the name Father Blue. That's literally where the fucking name comes from. But everyone took it as like, this guy's calling himself Father Blue and he never bred Blue Tree Monitors. Well, at the end of the day, I've bred them now couple times, handful of times. I've been to Botanta where they live. I've done the thing. I'm making a
Stood on your
documentary.
ass.
People
They stood on
people
your
talk
ass when you
about me
first
every
met
fucking day. My name is Father Blue, but my real name's Eddie. Welcome to my world, dude. That's it. That's all I gotta say. There's like no drama between. I don't. I have no hate for the people that felt this way that they felt over the years. They just don't understand that like it literally was just a fun name that I thought was cool, and it developed into this cool
No,
ass thing, right? I'm
I like how
grateful.
you put that
Yeah,
shit together though. I like that.
yeah, I'm grateful for what it is now, right? Because I have this cool community, and it
Yeah.
caused a lot of noise, and maybe that noise helped with the growth, but it was simply harmless. It was a harmless, fun name at the beginning, and now I am still Father Blue, and I think it's a cool ass name. At the end of the day,
I don't think it's a problem. I remember when Dre,
you
he
don't, bro.
became.
You don't call yourself Father
He,
Chondro though, and see what people fucking say.
listen, I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Oh,
I'm gonna put it to
you
you
do
like
that?
this. I've been to several reptile shows, and I've dealt with several reptile enthusiasts, bro. It's like maybe like three people who I think may an entire reptile community that if they actually have a problem with me, they will actually come to me, and I think it
They
might go
don't,
down. The
yeah.
rest of them, I don't really give a flying fuck about them. They
Fuck it, I'm
might
gonna
say
start
shit
calling
about.
myself Father Cyclops. Fuck it.
They might say a
Yeah,
whole
dude,
bunch
call
of
yourself
shit
Father
about
Cyclops,
me
dude.
in fucking their group chats that
Bro,
they
Father
have where they
Club,
talk
bro.
shit about
Father
everybody
Gang,
else.
dog.
But I personally don't care. I could be Father Travy Trav. I could be
Yeah,
Father
dude.
Greasy
Look,
Gizzard guy. I don't
look.
give a fuck.
You definitely
My
not
thing I
Father
was
Chavy Chav. You definitely Bishop Chavy Chav.
Bishop something. I might be Bishop of not giving a fuck because I don't really give a fuck. But
Yeah,
I will
Bishop
say this:
slap a hoe.
is that when it comes to the name, like I remember when
Bishop
Dre
backhand.
became the snake god, and he was completely
Father
Yeah, that's a
Blaze.
unfazed by it.
perfect
Father
example. That's a perfect
Blaze.
example. That's a perfect example right there.
He was
Father
unfazed. He was
Blaze.
like, bro, I don't give a fuck.
There you
Y'all not gonna
go.
run around and call me Father Blade. I don't give a fuck.
Father
But
Blaze. Yeah.
when Dre became Snake Eye, he was telling me, he was like, man, all these people coming up to me saying shit. He was just like, man, I don't even give a fuck. It's just like they not gonna do shit about it. What they gonna do? They gonna slander you in fucking group text. Like nobody gives a fuck about that shit, bro. Call
Bro,
yourself
dude,
whoever you want.
yeah,
Call yourself whatever you want to call
yeah, dude,
yourself. Nobody cares.
and I'm open, bro. Like literally, bro, if anybody were to message me, I would give like that, and we can have a heart-to-heart conversation. I'm not all about this like let's text over the fucking whatever. I'm like, no, you want to speak to me? Here's my phone number. Let's get on a fucking phone call. If you don't like me after the phone call, cool, that's fucking fine, bro. But at least have a conversation. Don't come over like I heard this from this one dude. I don't like you. Not you don't like me. Confront me. Talk to me at least at the very minimum on a phone call, and let's get to the bottom of it. And let's move on after that, bro. We
So,
grown
nigga, we can
men.
have a
I got shit to
race
do.
around New York City with no brakes on. What's wrong
Bro,
with you?
right? Exactly, bro. I got shit to do.
But
I'm
they are
going to
not.
Indonesia. I'm building a
Tell
boat. I'm
'em.
doing shit. I don't got time for this, whatever this opinion you might have. But
So I'm telling you on
if
the
you
boat,
got a
man.
question, I'm happy to answer it, you know?
Tell them like you want to link up behind the abandoned Kmart and you want to smack it out. That's what you should tell them. If you don't like, if you don't like my name, you can be.
Travis, you got a lot of experiences behind Kmart's because you be referencing a lot.
Bro, they don't even got
Doing back
Kmart
there,
anymore,
but I know
bro.
you be referencing behind Kmart's and behind shopping centers a lot, bro.
Hey man, ain't nobody coming to the Kmart, bro. You can do whatever you want at the Kmart.
Apparently, you did.
I was talking to somebody a few days ago. I was like, "Hey, bro, you remember when they closed out all the circuit cities? That was fucked up, bro.
Yeah, that was wild.
That was
That was
fucked
dark
up,
times, bro.
because that was where we was getting the cheap movies from. It was Circuit City.
Man.
Best Buy movies was overpriced. We had to go to Circuit City, and they closed that motherfucker down.
No, I used to always. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I was a kid. I used to go to the neighborhood. You know, you had the neighborhood video store, and they had like you remember they had the porn section, and it was like blocked off with beads.
Yeah.
I used to always try to go to the edge and be peeping through the beads. You know, see what,
Yo, Border Patrol came and slapped the shit out of you.
The young days,
bro. Rid of these. Hey, listen, y'all around the same age as me. Hey, bro, they made a movie called Y2K. It's like a comedy horror movie. Listen, it's so much nostalgia in that shit, man. If you grew up in the late 90s, early 2000s, you love that shit. It's kind of recent. But
we got colored Apple computers in there.
Nah, but they do got a part where they at the video store and it's a porno section blocked off by beads.
That's how you know you old, man. When you used to go to one of those stores. You old.
Yeah, I
bro.
made a joke with somebody the other day. I was just like, damn, I gotta tell Keno this. Like, you remember West Coast production pornos had no storylines, just niggas with oil and a beat. We don't got no storyline.
Correct. Come on,
just like we don't got no writers. We just go pour oil on this girl.
Come on, Eddie. Come on, Eddie. You want to tell us you don't remember the West Coast production?
Nah.
Get the fuck out of here, Eddie.
You don't remember? You don't remember Latin Booty Talk 1 through 17?
Oh god damn, bro.
Hey, tell the wife this is before her. You good? You know.
All right, so let's get back on topic. So let's talk about, man, the current efforts that you got going on conservation wise, and the
Yeah.
boat that you building, and like what actually you plan to do. Because okay, and also let's get back to this point. So the ban that occurred, what you're saying is that there's no correlation between your activities and the ban. And
Right,
what
right,
are
right.
your current conservation activities at this point in time, and what are your intended accomplishments with it?
Well, because of the ban, right? We had a plan to rehome all our animals, and the ban happened, and one animal was stuck in the mix of that whole process, and so we have one female blue tree monitor, and in that happenstance of us keeping that blue tree monitor, we actually had her lay 3 eggs in that same span of time, which was like not was unexpected, expected at the same time. It was a crazy timing for all that to happen. So we have 3 eggs incubating right now, as well as this female blue tree monitor. And so we've made a decision that, like, because of this enacting it like that, the chances of us being able to work with these animals in the future in captivity might be hindered. We're going to do the best that we can to provide the best enclosure that we can for this animal here in captivity in our home, while she's with us until we decide to move her to greener pastures or whatever happens. But as the time being, it's just very difficult to do so.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that's happening. We're gonna hopefully hatch these 3 babies, and with those babies, we're gonna still try to work with zoos to try to donate them as best as we can. We tried to do it last year, and because of the bureaucracy of like zoological institutions, as much as we try to donate to zoos, they wouldn't take it from us. We tried last year in multiple zoos. They wouldn't take it from us for whatever reason because of the red tape that comes along with AZA and taking animals from private keepers, whatever have you. We're gonna still try. So that's one effort. The same token, we just recently purchased a 51-foot catamaran that we are finishing out the build out on it as we speak, so that with the plans to take this vessel here where it is in Florida and sail it to Indonesia. And I'm not going to sail it by myself. We're gonna have a crew and everything like that to get us. We're gonna have the professionals to get it to us for in Indonesia, and then use this vessel not only as like a research quote unquote vessel for us to do our work and understand and learn and everything about these animals, but also as a vessel that we can use to transport goods, transport supplies, what have you, to the people of Bataan to help them out as best as we can. Aside from that, we have a bunch of other ambitious goals, which is like working on a charity for those people of Batanta. Hopefully, at the mix, also starting like an educational center for those people to help those guys out the best that they can, with some of the requests that they ask from us, and et cetera, et cetera. So we have a lot of projects in the mix. Our last trip that we went to in Batanta, something that really struck a chord with me was that we went out there and we donated a lot of clothing to children and mothers of the island. Right? We went ahead over there and we spent a lot of my own money and everything like that. And we put it aside and we brought over a lot of clothing for the village. And it was a selfless thing where I didn't think anything of it. It was like, hey, what's one thing we could do for these people? We had other plans, like we were gonna do like a big we were gonna buy a couple pigs and we are gonna like cook them out and like just have like a big party and everything like that for them, allowing us to be in their space, to allow us to be in their lands. But we landed on clothing. We donated a lot of clothing, and one of the things that struck a chord with me was that when we went out there and we talked to the people and they said no one that's come to our island has ever given us anything. Everybody that comes to our island, they just take from us, and they've never given us anything. And we didn't do this expecting to hear this from them. We didn't do this expecting to get anything out of it. We just was like, I can understand they're on an island. They don't have a lot of resources. The chances of all those people getting to the mainland is very difficult compared to me coming to them. And it doesn't cost me very much to get a bunch of clothing and bring it over. And that was very heartfelt. So that led us
That's
on this
home
mission
training,
on,
bro.
so that led us on this goal of like, hey, let's let's, as much as I want to be a part of like protecting blue tree monitors in their wild habitat, the one major drawback that I have is that I'm not an Indonesian citizen. No matter what I do, I don't have say in the political parties. I don't have say in any of the rules that happen over there. But what I can do is influence, right? And if I can go over there and I can help these people out and I can influence them and
Did
help
you
them
have
out
you
and be
looked
like, hey,
up?
look, you should take care of these animals, then maybe I can inspire them to, instead of like, hey, let's trap these animals, let's actually protect our animals. And so that's the mission of our project right now. Is helping those people, helping the people of Batanta so that they can hopefully in turn help the animals and their land and their space. That's what we're working towards right now.
Have you looked into getting like a dual citizenship?
In Indonesia, it's very difficult unless you do something like very politically motivated, or unless you marry someone from Indonesia. It's very difficult to get citizenship over there. And
Mm.
I'm going to get married to my wife. We're actually getting married in Indonesia this summer. So like, and so I will never have, even if I do get married, we're still foreigners, so we'll never have citizenship. And it's just what it is, And so,
So what
but
happens if y'all gonna live
again,
over there, and then if you have a child over there, then is your child Indonesian?
I don't know how that works, but
Mm.
who knows? Maybe, I don't know, but who knows? But hopefully, in talking to these political parties, something could happen. We'll leave it up to chance and we'll leave it up to hope. Who knows what will happen? But we hope with the work that we do, we're gonna not only work with the people of Batanta, but we're also reaching out to the government of Indonesia and the government of Raja Ampat. There's a lot of parties in play that we're working towards to develop this mission and this project to help out those
Mhm.
lands and spaces the best as we can. The mission is no longer protecting the animals, though that is the final scope. It's helping the people, and again, to hopefully inspire them to protect the animals. That's what we're trying to work with now, And the boat just helps us do that a little bit easier versus me trying to buy land or occupy land or something like
Yeah.
that, over there.
With the boat, put any research into like wind patterns and the climate and like try to research a route to take the safest way to get you there?
Well, I'm going to be working with a captain who I'm going to hire a captain who will sail me over there to do that. Yeah, and I'll learn from him to be able to do that. So I'm going to hopefully rely on whoever I hire to sail me out there to help them, and I will help them the entire time. But yeah, that's the plan. It's about like a 30-40 day trek over from the Pacific to the Raja Ampat. And again, I'm going to be working with them closely to ensure that we get there safely for sure, and hopefully learn around the way. Because
What you gonna be
I'll be
on
honest
that
with
boat
you,
for 30 or 40 days?
Hey,
yeah,
he
yeah,
gonna be
yeah,
out there like wrestling, like like
That
Noah. He gonna be
sounds
Father
so
yeah.
Noah in
I'm
funny.
that
not
bitch.
I'm not a sailor. I've
Father
never
Noah.
sailed in my life. I've never done any of this stuff, and I'm all on a win and all off of passion and hope, and I believe in this project so much that I'm willing to take all these risks to hopefully see the outcome of it.
Hey, you
I don't
gonna be
even
out
want
there?
to think
You gonna
about the ideas that I could come up with if you give me 30 or 40 days by myself.
I know it's
None of
that
this is
boat
Hey,
trip.
yo,
positive.
Trav, you
None of
looking
this is
good,
It's that
bro.
boat
positive.
trip. You
After
may be
30
musty as
days, you
hell.
looking good, Trav.
No, none of this positive. Yo, I don't need to be detached from reality for
Hey,
30 or
Trav,
40
you
days.
want Trav? There's space on the boat, Trav. If you want to come, bro.
No, I'm good, bro.
Hey, I might take Child's spot if shit. You could bring if you got enough room for 1.5.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll see. The vessel that we have definitely
Cause
gonna have a
hey,
lot of space, man. Oh man, I
it's
know where
gonna
you're
be
going with
me.
this too.
You know,
He
hey,
ignored
I'm
it.
on the boat. I'm on the boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I be back. I'm finna go to Roger Ampop for a minute. I'll be back.
Hell no. Not having keto around for 30 or 40 days and seeing keto come back. We're like, yo, it's some shit that I
I pop
don't want
out
to know
skinny.
about.
Pop out skinny. You know what I'm saying? With a midget.
It'd be like, yo, like you want to ask Keno questions? Be like, I absolutely do not.
Why not, baby? Why would you want to know how my
I don't
last 30,
want to
40
know.
days went?
Bro, is you good? Just tell me you good. You made it
Hey,
back
I
all
was on
right.
the boat with the
Make
niggas.
sure you
Shit.
make
What,
sure.
what you think? I was
Nah, we
living
don't have to
life.
talk about that. Be like, make sure we get Keno and Eddie a good meal, and that's about it. I ain't
I be
answer no
fishing for my
questions.
meal. We could be out there fishing, getting in. Eddie,
Keno,
you a
like
good fisherman?
you can't you can't fry fish on a boat, bro. Like,
Why
Why
not? Why I
not?
don't see why not? Yeah, right.
Right.
There's a stove top on this boat right here. I don't see why you couldn't.
All you
man,
need
that
is a
fit
stove
that
and a little
whole
Earl.
your whole fucking boat gonna smell like an old ass VFW, just fried fish and Seagram 7.
Hey, hey, hey. You know,
This good. This gonna
I'm gonna
smell.
get off the boat, pull out a Roger pot, you know. Hey, well fed off seafood and empty.
It's gonna smell. It's gonna smell like an old ass lady named Gertrude's house. That's what the fuck it's gonna smell like.
What just cologne, fish, and
And
what,
cologne.
money?
You gotta put the cologne on it too, bro. Oh man, it smell like
I'm be
Mr.
like the
Earl
ladies'
house on
man
that
living
boat.
off a boat.
Hey, y'all wild. Listen, man. Listen. Just make sure that y'all keep a journal of y'all activities, but not video style. Just something that I can read. Just put it in a fucking pamphlet.
No, I'm gonna do a vlog. It's gonna be
I
a
don't want to
vlog.
see the vlog, bro. I don't want to see the vlog. I needed an abridged version. I needed an abridged version in the pamphlet,
I'm
bro.
gonna put the vlog on my OnlyFans. You know?
Hell no.
You know?
so so Eddie, we gotta ask you a question, man. So
Daily
you
vlog.
know, so you've done a lot so far, man, as far as conservation goes. What do you expect to see in the next 1, 2, 3 years from now, as far as what you've been working on, bro? Like, what do you see? What do you think that you will see come into fruition?
um, I hope that I can hopefully help the people of
217.
Batanta the best way that I can, providing whatever resources that we can for them to better their lives. I hope that we can provide more information about the blue tree monitors and tree monitors in general that we don't know, specifically like things like dietary like matters and like how they breed and reproduce in the wild, because these are things that we don't know yet, you know. So to provide that type of information, and the biggest thing is to inspire the next generation to want to do the same. You know, like I want to be like bro. I'm a Latino dude from DC. I didn't grow up rich, bro. I grew up in an apartment with a single mom. You know, like I didn't grow up with a dad. I'm not this like rich guy, wealthy person, and I'm still out here chasing this passion and dream and doing this, and I want to inspire other people that I don't know that maybe look up to me, that don't look up to me, but like want to do something similar to say, hey, you guys can do this too. Maybe your passion isn't the blue tree monitor. Maybe your passion is another animal. Maybe it's green tree pythons. Maybe it's boa constrictors. Maybe it's hippos or elephants. But we can make a difference somehow if we believe in ourselves. So that's like the biggest thing that I want to hopefully accomplish in the next 5 years is help the people of Batanta bring more information and more resources about these animals and the fauna of the Raja Ampat and inspire the next generation. That's what I really want to do for the next 5 years, you know. And if I accomplish that, I'm happy. You know, I'm really happy. If I help some couple people, if I inspire a couple of kids out there or a couple people out there to go out and visit these wild lands or whatever it is and make a documentary or to believe in themselves and put out information or whatever it is, then I'll be happy with that, man. I'm not looking for like monetary gain. I'm not looking to become rich. I'm not looking to become famous. I'm just trying to
Mhm.
do what I believe in and share that with you guys. And the people that want to follow it can follow it. And if you don't want to follow it, then don't follow it. You know, that's all I
You
can
know
say,
what,
you know?
Eddie? I'm gonna tell you this, man. You could agree or not agree, but when you say you're not rich, that you weren't born rich. I'm just gonna say this, Eddie. The things that you're doing now, a lot of people don't have the resources to do it. They can't figure out how to do it. So, in what you've been doing now, and this may or may not be true. In what you've been doing now, you're gonna get a lot of attention that may come with a negative connotation off the bat
Mm-hmm.
because of people's inability to do what you're doing. And they are necessarily probably going to say, well, you should do it this way. You shouldn't be doing it that way. You should do this. And that's what's going to come because you probably living out a lot of people's dreams and they have a different version of how they would do it, bro. And that just comes with you being able to do things that other people can't do. It is not a
I hear
knock
that.
against you.
No, I
It's
hear
not
that.
necessarily a knock against you. It's just how people perceive it. It's just like when I hear people be like, man, what do you mean you 6'6" and you don't play basketball? You rather be a
Yeah.
skateboarder. It's
Yeah.
the same shit. It's just like,
No,
well, you shouldn't be
everyone.
fucking
Yeah.
worried about it.
Right. Everyone is blessed into different opportunities, right? But I'm not gonna say that my life was like handed to me in a silver spoon, man. You know, it wasn't.
No.
I worked for what I did and what I accomplished. I like, I don't spend my money on a lot of dumb shit. I like or not dumb shit, but I don't spend my money on things that I don't see I need. Like for example,
Yeah.
a lot of the clothing that I wear, I don't buy brand new clothing. I don't go out. I don't buy brand new. I don't have a car. I don't. I've never had it. I've never owned a. I've only owned one car in my entire 32 years of life. Imagine how much
Mm.
money I've saved just not owning a car in that time. Like there's a lot of things that I've done. I've recycled. There's a lot of things that I've done in order to be able to put my money towards other things. And
Where
like
you usually
I
where you
take out,
usually
I
go
take out,
shopping at?
I take out, huh?
Where you usually go shopping at?
Old Navy. I buy my fucking clothes from Old Navy, bro. I buy $20 hoodies and fucking $20 fucking sweaters, dude. Like my
I
jeans
feel
cost
you.
$30. Like I'm not like a
Yeah,
like I
but
said. I do.
Eddie,
I
this
get
is
I get
not
it.
you
I get
having
it.
to
I
explain
know.
it.
I no.
This is
I
just
know. I know. I know.
this is just
I
the
know what you
nature
mean.
of just like the
Right.
people that you talk about, bro. Like, listen, let's keep it a buck, bro. We
Hey,
done
hey, you
seen
know
100%.
that's how the rich
animals.
people live, though,
We done
Reddy.
seen
You know that.
animals.
You know that's how the rich people
We done
live,
seen
right?
animals exchange
They be
people's
wearing cheap
hands,
jeans,
and we done
wearing cheap
seen
clothes.
people do strange stuff for animals, bro. And like the fact that people will basically spread their butt cheeks for a
Right.
discount on an animal, like you not doing that. So a lot of
Pause.
times when you think about it, we're not pausing. That's just the reality of the situation. A lot of times when people
Yeah.
probably see that shit, they just like,
Butt
what
cheeks
the
for a
fuck you
very cheap
mean that he
python
don't
is
got to get
crazy.
down the way I got to get down? So like,
Yeah.
Eddie, like you're doing a lot of shit that people can't do.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take any of it for granted, right? I'm not gonna take none of the stuff that I do for granted. I'm not gonna take my position in life for granted. I'm not gonna take the opportunities that I've had for granted. I'm gonna say that I believed in what I wanted to do. I had a mission from the beginning. I took a lot of chances. I took a lot of leaps of faith, and they played out for me, in a good positive way. And I think I'm not gonna say that
Hey,
it can happen for
bro, I don't
everybody,
know what he on,
but
bro.
if you just believe in yourself, who you the sky's the limit, man. You just got one of the things that I think one of the things that someone I had this conversation with someone before, and they were talking about something completely different. But they asked me like, why don't people do this certain thing? And I responded to them as like, I think what happened is that a lot of people don't take chances in life. I think a lot of people are
Mm-hmm.
too
You
afraid to
know,
get out of their comfort zone. And because you're afraid of getting out of your comfort zone, that prevents you from taking these opportunities that you might have. Like, bro, I never been to Indonesia. I went to Indonesia my first time. I didn't speak the language. I didn't know anybody. I went in there blind. Anything could have happened. I went in there with the last $5,000. Like I scrammed up 5 grand. It took me a whole year to save up $5,000 so I can go to Indonesia for the first time ever in my life. And that might be a lot of money for some people. That might be no money for some people. But I saved up $5,000 for first year to go there, and I took a risk, and I got to see something that people fucking wish they got to see. but I took
Yeah.
the fucking risk. And you have to believe in yourself and take the chance, because if you don't take the chance, well, you're just going to be sitting on your computer being like, why did this guy do it and I didn't? I don't want to
Yeah,
be fucking,
I, I like the way that sounds.
you know.
You gotta pat yourself on the back, but like I said earlier, bro,
I
the way
know, I
you
know,
take chances, bro. A lot of
I
people
know.
like that's why that's why you got so many people that align themselves with just random people. Be like, well, this guy says it, so I'm just gonna follow it. It's like you don't want to
Mm,
figure this shit out on your own. And Eddie,
mm,
you don't figure out a lot of shit on your own, bro. Like
Yeah,
you
dude.
you would cut a butt of rest when it comes to this figuring things out on their own type thing.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't have, I don't, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's, yeah. I agree, man. And again, don't take it for granted. I'm just I am the way I am. I can't help that. I want to learn in the way I want to learn. I want to take the risk. I want to take the chance. I want to have the experience. And that's the best way that I learn, and it works for me. It doesn't work for everybody else. And I hopefully share fairly enough with enough people so they can see, like, hey, if you do take this route that I take, these are the outcomes. Like, for example, I tried to breed tree monitors for 5 years. It took me fucking 4 years to breed tree monitors, right? But I could have probably bred them in 2 years had I listened to everybody else. I didn't want to listen to everybody else. I wanted to learn my own way, and I did, and then I am where I am now. But I took my own chance, and I put my life in my own fate, my fate in my own life on my own hands, and I am what I am now, man. That's all I can say is, like, I don't know. If anything from this conversation, I know it's a ramble in my sense, but like, just take more chances, dude. And who knows what will happen if you do that, you know?
Mm.
Yeah, and that's probably one of the biggest takeaways that I'm definitely gonna have from this is watching other people, you know, have the ability to just be like, well, fuck it, I'm going for it. I know that a lot of us do it. Some of us won't, but I need to see more of that. And you know, I think that what we've talked about tonight is people may have different, kind of they have different ideas of what happened as far as different events, but there's nothing that I can say of after talking to you that I can say you're trying to get animals out of people's hands. I can't say
Yeah,
that.
dude. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know where
Can't
that
say
came
that.
from, dude. I don't know where that came from. Like, literally, I had a phone call with someone else literally like a day ago who's asking me if I would help him out to be on their, like, he's making a whole document to combat the ESA listing. And I said, dude, whatever you need, I'll help you out. Literally. And anybody has had my phone number. I've given my phone number to fucking hundreds of people. We can get on the phone at any single time. If you got my phone number, it means I trust you. You can call me. If you got my contact, if I reply to your message online, it means I fuck with you. You can text me, you can chop it up with me. We can have any fucking conversation you want. But don't go
Yeah.
behind like closed doors and be like, I don't like this guy, whatever. That's not real to me. Have a fucking real man to man conversation with me. Let's figure it out. If we don't agree on things, at least figure out why we don't agree on things and then move on from there. That's how I always think of it, you know?
And that's real. That's real. I think we live in an era. We live in an era where I don't say this. I think I think men have gotten too comfortable with
Yeah.
disrespecting people online,
Yeah.
and it's like just because you can send a message to somebody and you never have to see them, um,
Bro, I'm
you might have
six
to see
four,
that
bro.
person.
Big
You may
body,
have to
bro.
see
I'm
that
6'4",
person
big
one
body.
day. So
See
you
me
have
in
to
real
play that.
life.
Hey, you
See
might
me
have to
in
see
real
that
life, bro.
person, and you have to stand on the stuff that you saying online to this person. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, no. Playing
I
around. But
think,
yeah,
I
yeah.
think a
especially
lot
in
of
this
it
day and
just
age,
comes
man,
from
as opposed to just get on the phone and, like you said, handling something.
Yeah,
We can
dude.
set our differences aside and be on from that shit. It's just
Right, dog.
I
a
think
lot
in a
of
lot of
people.
cases, man, people can talk to each other when it's one on one, but I think that just there's a lot of things that happen
Yeah,
uh in in terms of people having conversations with each other that be outside the scope of whatever the two people are going to talk about, right?
Right.
Somebody else can tell you something, you hear something from over here, you see something, and people just like, yo, like, just sit down and have a conversation. What was the name of that song from the Supremes? Don't ask my neighbor. You just talk to me.
Yeah, just come to me.
Yeah.
Don't be
Come to
afraid.
me. Don't ask my neighbor. Just talk to
Don't be
me.
afraid of
Like,
what you see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't ask my neighbor. But yeah, man. People can have conversations, man. Don't be afraid. We about to start harmonizing, getting drunk off. We about to find some old bottles of Ripple and start getting drunk and harmonizing over a
Hey,
fire
you know what I'm
bell.
saying?
But
Off
it
that
sounds like a good
crown.
time. Off that crown. Shit, my wife got a bottle of peach crown the other day. Um, but yeah, man, I think that whoever wants to ask Father Blue a question about certain things, man, just ask him. And also
Ask
realize
me,
this:
bro.
we at the Chondro Bar Room, we don't know what everybody be doing either. I had a conversation like that last week. Somebody called me and just like, yeah, what the fuck is this dude doing? I was like, bro, I don't really know, bro. just because they come on the Chondro Bar Room, bro, we don't keep tabs on their life, bro, and
Keep
all
on
they be
keep. We
saying.
don't keep tabs on. I guess everyday life. But like
we don't.
we don't check
We
in with
don't
them
know
like
what
on
this
a
motherfucker.
daily. Ask them. We don't send them text messages at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Is you up? You up
Yeah, we
yet?
don't do that.
We don't do
But
that though.
listen, before we get out of here, Eddie, I'm gonna give you a chance, man. You got anything that you want to say? Get off your chest before we get up out of
Yeah.
here.
From the
Shout outs,
Yeah,
cameraman.
hundred
Talk
percent,
to
whatever.
us.
100%, 100%. Look, if there's anybody out there right now in the USA or in America in general that is working with Blue Tree monitors or tree monitors in general, please go on to the USARC website and look under the new act, the ESA Act for the Blue Tree monitor, and please make a comment today. You have until like the beginning of February to make a comment about your relationship and working with the Blue Tree Monitor and working with them in captivity so that we can combat this ESA listing in order to prevent this new measure to pass so that we cannot work with these animals in captivity. I've been dedicating my entire life, my entire last 5 years to working with these animals. I want to protect these animals. I would love to see these animals continue to be worked with in captivity because if they're not worked in captivity, there's a potential that we can lose them in their natural range. So please, if you have the time and you have any experience, make a comment. Even if you don't have experience, make a comment about your opinion on why these animals should not be put on this list or what have you. Please do your research. Don't just go off of what I say. Do your full diligent research on the topic and make a comment, please. I'm gonna do the same. My friends are gonna do the same. I love the Blue Tree monitors. I want to work with the Blue Tree monitors. I want to protect the Blue Tree monitors, and I want to put this information out here for those that don't know that you have the ability to make a difference if you comment on this listing here. So that's the last thing I want to say about that. And also, hopefully, if anything that you can take from this entire talk that we've had today is that I believe in every single one of you guys that want to do anything similar to what I'm doing. I know it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I believe that if you believe in yourself and you want to make a difference, you can make a difference. So put yourself out there, try to do it. If you believe in the passion and it's a moral passion, it's a good passion, do what you think is right for your journey, So that's the last thing that I want to say off of this topic for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you got anything, Kino?
No, that's it, man. I want to thank Eddie for pulling up from Florida. You know, real. You know what I'm saying? Real Flatbush life.
Hey.
Nah, I appreciate
Eddie,
that. Thank you for clarifying some things too, because I think a lot of people had, uh, to put it lightly, a lot of people had you fucked about here. They had you.
Yeah, dude, I know,
You know what I'm
dude.
saying? They had you.
They talk about me all the time, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
it's
So
actually been a few people. Like a few
Yeah.
people they've had, things that I think that they
But I'm
believe.
glad you came on here and clarified your stance with that. And
Yeah, man.
yeah, just kind of
Yeah,
reiterate people and let kind of let people know where you coming from and shit. Even though this band happened, shit, you keep your name out of it. So I got it, and I respect it. And
Appreciate that,
we
man.
always
Appreciate
love
that.
you. We love having you come on, and
Yeah. Thank you,
the
dog.
bar
Thank you,
room
bro.
big fans. Shit, even
Yeah.
if you change your name to Father Yellow, you know what I'm saying? We still out here with
I
you.
don't know,
Next
man. He about to.
podcast we have, I'm gonna be on the fucking boat in the water, bro, in the middle of the ocean. Watch, I promise you, bro.
Hey, you gotta
Damn,
make
he
sure
gonna
your
be
service
Father
good, man.
Shipwreck, bro. yo, please don't turn this into a fucking Tom Hanks movie. Don't be getting shipwrecked
You'll
talking
be out
to
there with a
a
volleyball.
boat.
I'm gonna call my
Yeah, I don't want you
I'm gonna call
talking
my
to a
volleyball
volleyball
Keno,
named
bro.
Wilson. I
I'm gonna
don't
call
want it
it
to be
Keno,
like
bro.
Captain Phillips. I don't want little skinny
Hey.
Somalians to capture you and be like, I'm the captain now. I don't want that. I don't want that for you. But I
Oh
don't got
man.
anything else, man. I appreciate you for coming through for the third time, man. So shout out to
Yeah.
Father Blue. I don't
Thank
know if
you.
there's
I think he's the
anybody
first
here that's
person
had.
with a 3-part series, ain't he?
Yeah,
Hey, with
just
the 3
you.
rings,
You.
bro. 3 rings.
That's crazy to be a Chondro show and the person with 3 episodes. That's a monitor guy.
Well, all of them are
Yo,
super
but
informative and they pack with info. So
yeah, it's a lot of people, man, that they have done great things, but Father Blue, Eddie, bro, you can carry a show, man. So we appreciate having
yeah.
you
Appreciate that, bro.
and bringing
Appreciate
you
that.
on. But that's been it for us, man. We'll see y'all in 2 more weeks. And we'll miss y'all.
Oh,
Hopefully
hey,
we
we ain't
won't
on
spend too
weekly,
much time.
but still get up with our sponsors, man. Go buy you some
Yeah,
purchase and
yeah.
use that code on the purchase and get you some use that on some damn feeders, some cold blooded.
Yeah, shout out to our UK our Europe listeners. We got
Yeah,
Peter Schwartz. We
a
got
few of them
Delic.
checking
He
in
also
tonight.
had
We appreciate.
Sal, and we
Yeah,
appreciate everybody, man.
everybody
But
across the
that's
pond over there. Thanks for checking in. I know it's late. Sal, you
yeah,
too. I know it's late, but thank you. We appreciate y'all, man. You could have been
Father
anywhere,
Sal.
but y'all was here with us tonight.
But that's been it for us, man. Y'all have a good night. Enjoy the rest of y'all week.
See y'all in
Peace.
2 weeks. Peace, y'all. That was a good one.